Do it. Do it. Do it now. Jump, Dana. Jump. I'm here. Kill me. Kill me now. Jump, Dana. Daddy loves you. What the... Ridiculous. Okay, ridiculous. Listen, doesn't matter how much you love your children, asking them to jump off of a gantry crane onto a Harrier jump jet, there's some lines that love cannot cross. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. What's up, Daniel Weber? Franklin Farmstead, shalom. Alda, Chasing Life, Mama Bear, The Hoss, Guns and Diesel, what's up, brother? Chris Lavancha, Buck J. Hey, don't look at me. That salad was delicious, but I can't eat any more of it.
You didn't eat any.
I had a little bit of it. It's going to take up my whiskey room. This is salad from the garden, and my wife is upset that there's only this much salad left in this bag. She doesn't want to put this up. She wants somebody to eat it. But I'm on to whiskey. Bub's on to ice cream. Yankee's on to PT himself into oblivion. Mom's full. The baby ran away, and I don't know what girl kid's doing. Free spirit prepping and news. Shalom. James, you eat it. Hey, what's up, Keith? PJD, what's up, Badger? Shalom, brother. JT.
I'll think about sitting with you.
You'll think about, you'll consider it? You'll consider being in my presence, huh? Cool. Yeah, Tank, I got a bayonet on that Harrier. That's right. Yes, son.
Does Badger watch a lot of your live streams? Because every time you have a live stream, I hear you say his name.
Yeah, he's a moderator. He's a blue wrench. He has all of the powers. Mike Tregra. That's what we're going to go with. J.I. Dudley, shalom, brother. Kyle Gallagher, Minnesota man looking for a tribe, eh? I was just on the phone with my buddy Tyler from Minnesota. He's a pretty good dude. He's got a fiance, good guy, like him a lot. So, you know, maybe check it out, Kyle, you know. It's a good fella there. Blue Spark, what's up, man? Echo 5 Victor, shalom. Hello from Southern California. So, Stomp Bag is dope. Thanks, Wide Frame. We actually got some stuff. Our supply chain logistics have just been, like the rest of the entire planet, a little jacked up. And so it's had me, I don't like it. I don't like it because I want to fill orders as quickly as possible. But I'm trying not to beat myself up about it because the whole planet is on hold. Well, JT Robinson, here's the thing. My drums aren't here. They're at the office. This is not the office. So, but anyway, we've been waiting on some final items to come in to start assembling the stomp bags that have been pre-ordered. And I think most of them, if not all of them, are here. So looking forward to it, man. My FAQ was worth the wait. Awesome, Chris. That's awesome, man. Glad you like it. Let's get tactical. Mike Woodward. Shalom, brother. Do I know Rex Tabor? I know of Rex, Taborosaurus Rex. I'm a fan of his work. We have some brothers who have trained with Rex, namely Cody from Sojourn Gear. And Rex knows what he's talking about when it comes to doing the long-range things. He's also Torah observant, which I think is super cool. Which should be one more indicator that, you know, maybe this whole Torah observant thing isn't a fad. If the father is continuously calling badass alpha males to Torah, maybe that means something. So, just saying. But I don't know him personally. We've never talked on the phone, although I do think highly of the man based upon what I know of him. So, and I'm not opposed to talking to him at all. I think it'd be great. So, fat is the new rich. I like it. Mr. E.H. Nebraska. We salute you, Mr. E.H. Nebraska. Shalom, Air Force retired. Okay, City. Shalom. What y'all want to chat about? Warwickshire, England. Andy. Shaloha. I'll break out the Fender bass and play along. Nice, David. Shannon, bless you. Stillwater. Howdy from upstate. Like it. Tommy Salter, shalom, brother. Badger, that's awesome. Shaloha, Action Jackson. Criminal procedure when SHTF. The grid going down. Howdy from McAllister, Oklahoma. Y'all got them big bombs out there in McAllister when you're coming up the Highway 6975 right there. Reach out and slap somebody from Overwatch. Roger that. 50 BMG for home defense. My issue with 50 BMG for home defense is that I'm not entirely sure that it has the adequate stopping power for it. And I don't like the fact that it's difficult to mount a TLR1 onto. Also, 10 rounds in the magazine is adequate, but probably less than ideal. So, other than the fact that, it's an underpowered cartridge for home defense, definitely do not need to worry about secondary penetration at all. But other than that, I guess it's acceptable. So, NWA Prepper, bless you, brother. You the bomb back at you. Appreciate you, brother. Just got my Glock 21 in today. I like the Glock 21. Boycott round questions. I like that. I like that. All questions of caliber are on quarantine this evening. Michelle Seta. My deuce. Thoughts on forced vaccines and post-vaccine mark, sign of the times. Well, Brandon, I've recently did a video on Patreon about vaccines. Long and short is I ain't taking it, not doing it. And forced vaccines, boy, if we get to the point where forced vaccines are even being discussed, I would like it if everybody with a pair of testicles and an AR-15 made their opinions known. So, how's that for an answer? Plano, Texas, man, I don't go south of 380 unless there's a check waiting for me. I guess there's some nice parts of Plano. I've not been through all of Plano, but every time I get to Plano, I'm like, Sarah, you have testicles by proxy, sister. You're badass. We appreciate you. Bear, just ordered a Sig Romeo 5 last week. Know you have one. How's it working for you? Stay survived. You know wrong. I have 3 of them. That's how it's working for me. I love the dang thing, and for 120-ish bucks, it rocks. Exactly, Shannon. Ovaries are testicles, just on the inside. Y'all's dangly parts are on the inside. Exactly. Nunya Texas Tobacco. Yeah, I agree, man. I love the Sig Romeo 5. It's working great for me. The only thing that I wish that it had, and it doesn't have because of the price point, is instant on. I wish it had instant on. So the moment I came up, it was there, but it doesn't. But for 120 bucks, who am I to complain? Who are you? Are you going to say shaloha to the people?
Stranger.
Some strange lady.
People.
I love it when there's new people on the channel who are like, who that lady? Like, I don't know. Somebody just let her into my house.
Who's that lady?
Farmer Kenton. Bless you, brother. Thank you. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for that. Your thoughts on High Point Caribbean and homemade cuddles and scavenging school buses for medical equipment. Howdy from Victoria. That's a lot of different thoughts. I like homemade cuddles. I really do. Do you like homemade cuddles?
They're the best.
I'm a cuddler. Yeah. Brandon, roger that. Franklin Farmstead says, what's up? Megadeth. Hey, Megadeth, you will see there will be several videos coming on Patreon about the building of the range. Just completed the filming of Range Day 2 yesterday, and there's more coming. So, Magwai Shalom!
Yeah, she was.
Let's see. What else? What else did you ask me? Scavenging school buses for medical supplies. I gotta be honest with you. I'm not very scavengery. I would much rather have it than have to go looking for it. And here's the problem with scavenging is now we're allocating resources towards the potential allocation of other resources. And those resources are our time, which is irreplaceable, our lives, which are irreplaceable, our manpower, which is other people's lives, which are irreplaceable,
Whoa.
which ultimately means that we probably, just like Badger said, juice ain't worth the squeeze, man. I would rather have medical supplies now than have to go looking for them later. So I don't love the idea of scavenging at all, not even a little bit. I don't understand what you mean by criminal procedure. You mean like, what are we going to do with criminals? See, and this again, it's funny because, well, the law was nailed to the cross, except for those 10 commandments, right? Because thou shalt not steal. I know what I'm doing. If first and foremost, I answer to the Most High, my Creator, not some man who developed a government that derives its authority from the consent of the governed, i.e. me. So I know what my ROEs are. I know what my morals and ethics are. And I don't really need to, nor necessarily want to pontificate on them. Vengeance is mine, so saith Yahweh or Elohim. However, if you read that there book, he's very good at using subcontractors. So, Jeremy Maguire, robust compost pile. Exactly. It might be his, but he firms out a lot of that work to other people. So, canning strawberries tonight. 8 pounds. That's a lot of freaking strawberries.
Yum.
Must have accessories for home defense. A light, bro. A light. And I like a light and a red dot on a rifle because at night, magnified optics are a little bit harder to get a sight picture on. But a light for sure. If you can't positively identify your target, you don't have a target. So, yeah. So for pistols, for home defense, a light for sure. But for rifles, pistols, and a red dot. Or, I'm sorry, a light and a red dot. Earl's daughter wants to know about chicks.
They're good. We had, let's see, I had 12 in the incubator, 11 hatched. I got them moved outside. And I decided I wanted them to live in the sheep pen, or sheep area. And sheep and baby chickens don't mix well. FYI. I got home from the office and the sheep had busted into the brooder and knocked over their food and their water and unplugged their light. So it was like chicken emergency that I had to tend to.
So Aaron Sarka and Sean Michael, no, I don't believe that my Romeo 5s have shake awake, bro. Mine are push to play. And then Aaron Sarka asked, I'm relatively new to guns, about a year of experience, so what would you recommend for someone training to hunt deer? And okay, hold on. Sean, if you feel so compelled that you'd like to send it to me, I'd be happy to have it, but please, you don't have to send that to me. Okay, Aaron, if you're new to deer hunting, what I would recommend is you go to any feed store, Walmart, wherever, and get you a $300 to $400 to $500 Ruger American rifle or Savage Axis or anything like that in .308 Winchester with a 3-9 throwaway scope on it, and learn to shoot that. And the reason for .308 Winchester is it'll definitely get the job done. It's readily available. It's relatively cheap. And if you get into other long-range precision platforms, you have some cross-compatibility between the rounds. If you decide to get an AR-10 or something like that, 270 is a great round. If you're a smaller lady, maybe you want to look at something like a 243, which is a hell of a round. Shot placement is king, man, or woman. A lot of deer have been killed with a 22 Magnum. If you can get a round into the heart and the lungs, you're good to go. Let's see. Matthew Gentry, between the following individuals, James Yeager, Tactical Response, John Lovell, War Poet, and the guy from Wrangler Star, who would you fight to the death, hang out, drink beer with, and work with, and your reasons why? That was a great question, Matthew. Hold on, the toddler is on the warpath with my Reese's.
We're being sneaky mouses. You're not supposed to see us.
By the
There
way,
you go.
Several of y'all have been all over the double stuff resupply, and we love you. Thank you. We have gotten several boxes from several individuals with double stuffed Oreos and Reese's Pieces in it, and I can just say that that is the definition of love. Y'all are awesome, and we love you. All right, Matthew Gentry. Who would I fight to the death? Who would I hang out and drink beer with? And who would you work with, and reasons why? Okay, can we not eat all of my Reese's, everybody? Just
No.
saying.
I don't know.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
sorry
it.
about
That's it. Shut it down. I feel like I would want to hang out with. All right, I'm getting distracted. I feel like I would want to hang out with Wrangler Star, because he does know about chainsaws. He knows about axes. He's definitely doing the homesteady things. I would probably want to. I guess if I had to pick between Jaeger and Lovell to work with, Lovell's a Christian. So there's that. I don't know if Jaeger is or isn't. I don't know all that much about Jaeger. I think he's pretty good at running his mouth, but again, I don't know. And I only know that because I've seen a lot of rebuttals and comments from other people back to James Jaeger. So for all I know, he's the best thing since sliced bread. I have no idea. And I certainly have no interest in engaging in any back and forth online with him. So if I had to work with somebody, knowing just a little bit about Lovell and practically nothing about James Jaeger, I'd work with Lovell and I guess fight Jaeger to the death. And if the question is would I win, the answer is obviously. So, cool. Great question. Man. Where do we send free stuff? To the P.O. box. You can email me. I want to drink with Paul Harrell. Me too. I also want to drink with Paul Harrell. What are there any YouTubers you want to drink with?
Me.
Sandy Brock.
Sandy Brock.
So if you guys have any like sheep questions, Sandy Brock has a YouTube channel that is phenomenal as far as sheep information. And when I have questions, that's who I go watch. So check her out.
She's phenomenal.
Harvest right for freeze drying. Any updates?
No.
Not
Still
yet.
haven't ordered one right now. I think their lead time is like 9 to 10 weeks. I'm of the opinion that I will still just wait. Wait.
How old do you let your food get? Usually 12 to 14 months, then we butcher it. Or about 3.5 months if it's a bird. Susan Bryant asked, good laying hens, Hami? Garden is done now. Time to work on the coop and the pen and order chickens.
We like Australorps.
We definitely like Australorps.
And, I mean, my flock now is nothing but a bunch of barnyard mixes. Like, I couldn't tell you what breeds we have, but I do know that they all lay tremendously well. But I know we started out with Australorps.
Oh, I drink with Nut and Fancy
We-
too, for sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, so
For sure. Richard, Lieutenant Colonel Richard. Go ahead.
The Leghorns are good. The Cautions are good.
Can you put bayonets on your chickens, though? Mitch would like to know.
what's a bayonet?
No, because I can't get anywhere close to my chickens. I told TJ we needed to get one of those big old fishing nets that when we needed to catch a chicken, we could just net it and catch
Only
it.
if they lay Reese's.
We need just one of those sheep hooks. By the way, y'all. By the way, look at that. Look at that right there.
Oh.
Get mine too.
Yeah, you got one on too? Come here. Come here.
Yeah, but sometimes you need them during the day.
We match. We're twinsies. We're
Sometimes you
twinning.
gotta catch them during the day.
Twinsies.
So,
Very nice. Yeah, we like Australorps. They're a good dual-use bird. They get big enough to make it worth your while to butcher them, and they're good productive layers. Bayonets on a 300 Win Mag? Of course, I got a bayonet on my 22 Derringer, bro.
It took me a minute.
And we have some,
Charged
what do we have?
tire with a bayonet on an M16.
Windemeyer's?
What?
It's the type of chicken.
I don't
it's
know.
the W1.
I'm thinking about getting a plate carrier. I'm a big guy like you, so what size do you think I should get? John, we were just talking about this. Come on over, Janky. Come on over, Janky. All right, we're definitely...
Rotate that way.
Okay, you want to do that?
No, just
Okay,
a little bit.
just like this.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm going to talk
No,
with
no.
my hands. I don't know who these people are.
Yeah, they are all
Perfect. So I'll tell you, when it comes to like plus size model plate carriers, which listen, I'm not fat, I'm just storing calories for the apocalypse, okay? The Condor MOPC, Modular Operators plate carrier is the largest plate carrier I've found. On its smallest setting, it would probably be good for you. You wear a what, size large shirt?
The Condor Gunner plate carrier on its smallest setting, in my opinion, was still a little big in the shoulder adjustment.
Yeah.
I couldn't get it to ride high enough on me.
So I wear a 2X shirt, and the Condor MOPC works for me. Versus there are several other plate carriers out there, thank you, Matthew, that are itty bitty. In fact, we've got a couple to review, one of which will be part of the next Patreon giveaway, and it's no joke, bro. This is going to be anywhere between a $700 and $900 Patreon loot box. Anyway, suffice it to say, they were sent to me for testing. Guess who's going to be testing them? They won't fit me. And that's not just like in where I like to store my excess calories, like literally in the shoulders and chest. They will not fit. So I like the Condor MOPC because it fits, and honestly, I've had mine for 4-ish years, and it just works, man. It just works. So, cool. Is Sarah talking trash? What's up, Sarah?
No, she said she's drinking, so I guess she's not pregnant.
Oh.
There goes the pregnant theory.
Oh.
And I'm like, what?
What? Shalom, blessings to all. Wanted to say thank you. Just got my bear patches, unicorn so adorable, and raffle ticket so quick. Thank you again. May Yahweh always bless you and your family for everything. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you very much. So cool. Are you doing this with us, or are you just hanging out over there?
Well, I'm trying to, because I can't read them that way.
I can't read them that way either. So you pick some questions. You got any good questions?
No.
What about you, Rod?
Whiskey time.
Whiskey time, indeed. Thank you and yours, learning a lot. JT Robertson, thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, you're not little, and just look at the shoulder span difference. And I am flexing. Let me flex.
I'm just actually rolling my shoulder.
Oh, sorry, guys. Okay. I get carried away. My bad.
I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm tired too.
Hashtag train with sand.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Hashtag 6 a.m. drum sesh. Yeah. I had a good morning. It was freaking busy though. 6 a.m. to 7:28 a.m. drumming at upwards of 360 beats per minute, each limb sustained. Concrete Hades, shalom. The whiskey you can make yourself. No, we only make truck fuel around here.
Does Yankee have enough crowns, or do we need to send some? So the toddler stole Yankee's crowns.
No!
Bear, do you have an opinion on 300 Blackout? I do, and I'm going to issue it quickly to you because a lot of times, and I want to be clear on this, a lot of times Tactical Tuesday devolves into questions and answers about guns and calibers and equipment. And there's a lot of people that either had that stuff sorted already or simply couldn't care. And a lot of those people don't have testicles. Some of them do. Some of them, anyway. The ladies don't particularly care for all of the gun talk. And so we don't want to leave them in the weeds. Here's my deal on 300 Blackout. If you are independently wealthy, and if you are going to buy essentially the equivalent of a pallet of that ammunition and make that your primary loading, go for it, man. For me, I'm good. I don't need to run a short barrel suppressed AR platform for what I do. Who done did that? Garrett Barker. Thank you.
I got a question for me.
Okay, and so we'll do that one next.
Okay.
Thank you, Garrett Barker. You're awesome. So 300 Black is a good round, but I think it's a boutique round, and in certain instances, it's definitely better than 5.56. But in the words of Clint Smith, I've never seen anybody shot with a 55 grain bullet that I thought, hey, I want to take his place. So, yeah. That's kind of my answer on that. What do you think there, tactical Yankee guy?
I agree. Training too.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, having a short-barreled subsonic suppressed platform is cool, but you know, you got to kind of know how to run a platform like that with nods, and you got to know how to use nods and actually have nods and IR. So you're looking at if you want to actually have a competitive
20
goon
grand to play
squad
that game?
stuff, yeah, you're looking at like 15,000 at a minimum to have like top tier goon squad stuff.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Templeton Rye, Tony John, you rock. Okay, the question for you was, sweetie.
Oh. Okay, hang on. I gotta find it again.
You gotta find it again.
Mommy, what should women do to prep? How long is your work day?
That's a good question. Send it.
First is easy. Work day never really stops. Like, whether it's home, work, or like nighttime cleaning and straightening and all that stuff. So it's really an all-day gig. That's why I like to have Mondays off.
Go on this show.
As far as what should
not
women do
maybe
to
like
prep,
10 years of
I tend to do most of the grocery
steak
shopping
and eggs and
in our
every
family.
day.
So, like,
And steak
I've
with
made it my job to
There was a dude that was like,
get extra
Like
of
the
all the
top
things
man.
that we eat. He tends to buy like the grain, the corn,
for like ever. His name was like Marius
the
Pugliese.
bulk beans.
he was like-
He buys
These
the
dudes
bulk
are all
stuff,
like
and then
halfway
I buy
right?
like
They're like 6,
the things
7,
we
400,
actually
right?
eat every day
Dude,
for
dude
dinners.
was like my size,
I
all
also
ripped. And the
taught
reason he
myself
kept
how to
winning
can
was
and
because
how to
he was
pressure
as strong
can,
as everybody
and
else, but he was fast.
so I handle most of those
And,
things,
yeah,
as
dude, he
well
was
as
the bomb to
the
watch.
primarily like weeding the garden and
Yeah.
things like that. So, and chickens.
Yeah,
I hatch all the chickens.
you do.
Not personally, but
I eat all the chickens.
yeah, I don't go broody for
Sleep
21
dog
days.
patriot.
But you prep what you feel
Tactical
semi-comfortable
bell
with.
peppers
Like,
live
I had never canned before, but it interested me. So I wanted to take that on.
Asymmetrical preparedness. Oh, Amendment 1 preparedness. What's up, brother? Need glasses. Good to see you, bro.
Aspen was on the phone today, knife handing. Whoever she was talking to in make-believe land, she was knife handing.
So, starting about a year ago, this kid. So I'm typically the first person awake in the house, and then a lot of times Aspen is the second awake, and she would come down the steps and walk up to the table where we're sitting now and go, "You give me milk?" With like the 45-degree knife hand, the look like, "You give me milk." And I'm like, no, you're 2. You don't get to knife hand dad and demand milk. And then I realized like maybe we were using knife hands too much in the house. We needed to sheathe our knife hands for a while. So, yeah.
What is the normal
Doug Bucher,
creation
shalom,
rate
man.
of small chicks before they reach slaughter size?
The normal what weight, right?
I guess like growth rate.
Attrition rate. How many do you lose?
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that depends on your bird. Like, if I buy birds from like Atwoods or Tractor Supply,
50%.
I'm gonna lose a lot before they reach.
Oh,
Especially
Daddy,
when you're
so-
dealing with meat birds. Like, we lost half the meat birds that we bought. Part of that was our fault because
Yep.
the
nipples on our water bucket were clogged.
Yeah.
And we're like, why all these birds be dying? And then
they're
our
just
neighbor,
dropping like flies.
our neighbor's like, she was just in there checking on the chicken. She's like, hey, no water is coming out of this water bucket, right? And I was like, oh,
Snap. That's
thank,
why.
Thank you. Thank you. Totally our fault.
Yeah. So meat birds, like the meat bird, you know, your Cornish cross, your Freedom Rangers, those
Sorry.
you lose. You lose a lot of.
Just watching you guys trying to be like
Our barnyard mixes that
thrown
hatch
meal
that
in
have come from chickens that we've raised and hatched, those I almost don't lose any of unless I happen to get a predator that gets them. But on those guys, you're looking at like 5 months before they're big enough to
Hold on.
start laying and mating and
So, just as an FYI, if you're going to go off in the comments about the best way to make an at-home suppressor, you're not welcome here. And by the way, what's up, ATF? Have a great day. So, sorry, continue.
so yeah, it takes several months to get them big enough to actually eat them. Meat birds, you're looking at what, like 3 months, 4 months?
Well, it depends. The Cornish cross is like 12 weeks, so that's about 3 months. And then the Freedom Rangers bulk out about 2 weeks after Cornish cross. I like Freedom Rangers a lot more than Cornish cross because the Cornish cross are an abomination. They get so fat, so heavy so quickly that if you don't put their feet on one side of the pen and their food and their water on the other side of the pen, they won't get up and walk, so their bones don't get strong enough that they literally break their legs under their own weight, because that's how quickly they add weight. And they've been selectively bred so that they only feather out maybe about 50%. So you got these mangy looking giant fat birds that waddle around to and fro only to eat and drink water and then otherwise sit and just get fat. And this is the chicken you get in the store. That's the breed you get in the store. Those big, fat, pale chicken breasts, that's where those come from. So Freedom Rangers are also meat birds, but they're much better foragers. They at least get up and move around. So, yeah. Yep, and we have to take their food away at night. That's exactly right. So, 9mm Camp Marlin rifle. That rifle is the best. If I could find one of those, that rifle is the best. That's what the Ruger PC carbine is trying to be, but isn't. By the way, it's a personal soapbox of mine. The Ruger PC carbine. Then I'm going to shut up because now we're talking about guns again. That gun.
It is tactical.
That gun weighs as much as an AR-15. It's 6.8 pounds. It's bulky. The hand grip on it is wide. Yes, it takes Glock mags. That's cool. An AR-15 takes AR-15 mags. So you want 17 rounds or 33 rounds of 9mm or 30 rounds of 5.56, and it's not cheap. It's not cheap. I don't love it. I don't like it at all. I mean, I'm sure it's okay, but hell, for $150 cheaper, you can get a Kel-Tec Sub 2000 that folds in half, is just as accurate, weighs 2.5 pounds less, and takes the same freaking magazines. So, and is a very simple design. It's just basic blowback, closed bolt blowback, man.
1894S. 44.
Yeah, or 44
That's my
Magnum.
anti-government gun.
What
They
do
won't-
we
they
got
won't take that
next?
one.
Now you can't say that on the internet. Now they don't know. You need to go boating, man.
I did.
Can-
I lost it yesterday.
Can I say something?
What's
real
up,
quick?
son? That
Okay, so this is in regards to Patreon sticker benefits and Bear Independent.
is this a public announcement?
This is a public announcement.
Okay.
So,
Please stand by for an
So-
emergency test of the Bear Broadcasting Network.
okay, so me and my daughter Cheyenne are handling. We typically handle the Patreon sticker send outs and all the Bear Independent stores sales. Everything has been off the handle. Like,
Y'all are killing it at the store.
Y'all are killing it.
Thank you. We
but
appreciate
we
you.
are working our butts
Time
off.
to hire some more staff, apparently.
Yes. Like, I know that there are some of y'all that bought raffle tickets like a week and a half ago. And the last raffle, it was nothing for me to get those sent out in like a day or two. But we are overwhelmed.
Well, tell
So-
them the last raffle raised almost $3,000.
No, it was 35.
It was $3,500,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Awesome.
This raffle, and we still have, we're selecting the winner the end of June, so we still have 6 more weeks to go. This raffle has raised what so far?
$9,100.
Woo! Praise God. That
Which
is
equates
awesome.
to 1,968 tickets
Yeah.
that me and my daughter have to write you guys' name out twice because there's 2 parts of the ticket. So because we've been focusing on that, I have not done anything with Patreon benefits. And please know that we appreciate you guys extremely. And I will as soon as we are able to kind of get caught up because it's insane right now.
Yeah. But, yeah, we appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
For real. And it's, and you're not even running for president yet. Not yet. Not yet. 2024 is my year, I think. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So, Learning Ham Radio, which group would you recommend to join? Our tribe. And that's by appointment only. I don't know, man. I've said it forever and a day. I am not the ham radio guy. Asphalt Cowboy, what's being raffled off? Well, how about I rattle off quickly what's being raffled off? Chuck Philpott, bless you, man. Here's what's being raffled off. A custom, handmade, made in America, UW Gear Incorporated mini swamp rat chest rig pattern for M4 magazines in multicam. A bare minimum blowout kit in multicam. A custom Fleming's Fabrications bare bushcraft knife, which is the epitome of badassery when it comes to knives.
Which somebody bought and donated.
Yes, there
Back.
was. The original raffle was a knife almost identical to that, but with different scales. And Travis at Fleming's Fabrications wrote me after the raffle, and he said, "You know, Bear, I never make just one knife. So there's actually a second one. Would you like to put it in the store?" I said, "Absolutely, we'll put it in the store. It'll help," because he donated the first knife, and so the idea being, if we can sell the second knife, that'll help him, recover his costs. Guy's totally badass, and because of the conviction of his heart, he was helping out Grindstone. And I said, "Yeah, let's sell this other knife. It's what's good for you is good for us. I want everybody to earn a living, right?" And so he did. And then the person who bought that knife put in the description, the text box when I bought it, "Special shipping instructions, please call." So actually, hold on. Where is Sequoia Jack? Where are you, Sequoia Jack? There we go. Sequoia Jack has already been in contact with the dance monkeys. We'll just put it that way. Anyway, the gentleman who bought this knife said, hey, I want to donate it to Grindstone for the raffle. So now we have another knife for the raffle. Then an Amendment 1 Preparedness 30 caliber canned ham radio, and a Sanctified Supply Company swag bag, and Disaster Coffee, and Hero Soap, and Bear Independence swag. So it's like $1,500 plus worth of gear. So it's a good time. It's a really good time, and it's $5 to enter. Can UK Patreon members buy raffle tickets? Yeah, you can. You can certainly buy a raffle ticket. So, no, that's Lee. That's one. There is one winner for all of that. There's no multiple winners. It is one winner. So, need some IFACs, bearindependent.com. So, you said so, take a drink. You're right. The Canadian drinking game. So, anyway, my project manager likes to say so, you know. He's a pretty good guy. I like him. I like him a lot. He's a good guy. Sorry, not sorry. Quick clot, indeed.
Oh.
What's up?
Can you buy raffle tickets without being a member? Yes.
Yeah.
Just go to bearindependent.com.
It's for everybody. Yep.
What? Toddler needs.
Toddler needs. What's up?
What?
Hey, it's you. What's going on in your life lately? What have you been doing?
PT, because being fat and disgusting is unacceptable. If you're in quarantine, you have no excuse. PT every day. Working.
Working? Yep.
Taking care of animals.
OFD, what's up? Go ahead.
Taking care of animals, making content.
Thanks, Jerry. I got it from a brother.
It never ends, man. Life is just one big journey. You just gotta take it one step at a time. I don't know where I got that from. It's probably somewhere. So it's good. I'm loving it. I paid off a lot of debt. So I'm happy about that.
You just keep it over there, wherever you come.
Taking care of some basic vehicle maintenance things, which needed to get taken care of because of mileage. Then I'm going to have to do actual vehicle repair things because thank you, Northeastern Salt. It's awesome. So rust damage is fun to deal with on your entire suspension. It's like, oh, you might get 10,000 miles out of the shock before this shock decides to just blow out a sidewall because of pitting. And it's like, oh, that's awesome. So all the things.
You think if you're not ready by this winter, you're going to be too late? Alan, I have no idea. That's a really good question, though. Ready is, there's no, like, here's the thing, man. Y'all are treating this like a destination, not like a journey. Like, if I just reach this benchmark, then I'm good. It's the same box checker mentality that people apply to faith and then wonder why they're spiritually dead inside, right? It's not a destination, it's a journey. And ready is deeply personal and highly dependent upon your particular situation. So, yeah, Dave, exactly. I didn't know life had a stopping point. Finally, weeding. The garden on the suburbstead. Thank the Father. 4 chickens, 50 on square foot. Dude, that's awesome. Good job, Strychnine.
Just have a way to protect the chickens.
Okie, that's exactly right. Mike Tyson said that. Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. And he's right. Ready is, there are degrees of readiness. I, honestly, am, I mean, we've had to talk with our kids about how fortunate they are compared to everybody else because nothing has changed for them. That's how ready we are. Almost to the point where it's a detriment to the situation, that our kids lack the understanding and the context to realize that the world has changed. Because for them, nothing has changed other than they didn't go to school for a while. Spring break turned into summer vacation. That's what changed for them. And so I'm quite ready. I'm not all the ready. I would like to be more ready than I am right now. And I'm more ready than most, and not nearly as ready as several other people that I know and that I consult with and that I do life with. And so ready is a matter of degrees. And it's constant forward motion, man. You know, what do? You always improve the situation, right?
Yep.
Always improve the situation.
Sustain and improve.
Jamie Perry, I haven't done any of that. The Father has done that because he's totally badass. I am not. So all praise to him. But I'm very glad to hear that. Yeah, lifestyle, exactly. So, hey Bear and fam, rec for a home generator, solar gas, thoughts on rats tourniquets for children. I don't like the rats tourniquets for kids because the rats, to my understanding and with a little bit of experience, has a proclivity to loosen when you move the patient. And generally speaking,
SWAT tees, man.
after we apply a tourniquet, we are very likely going to move the patient. In fact, we're applying the tourniquet so that they don't bleed out, so that we can move them to a greater efficacy of care, somebody who has a higher level of training and ability than we do, wherever we're dealing with the immediate casualty. So I don't like the rats because it can come loose. I do like the SWAT tee because it's $11 on Amazon. It can be used on any limb size from this to this. No problem. It can also be used to make a pressure dressing or a sling or anything else. And it's flat. You can keep it in a back pocket. So, and it's intuitive. I think more intuitive than the rats is with that wrappy, loopy, tie-y thing.
You can bring it on a plane.
And you can bring it on a plane. There you go.
I don't know about the rats with that metal piece. They'll go through the metal detector and set it off.
Is it worth using a TQ when there's no secondary care? That's a great question. What does the wound look like? My answer is yes. Do you just let people bleed out? No. No, you don't. I think there is something deep-seated in all of us that we understand the atrocity that it is to just needlessly lose a life. So yes, you apply a tourniquet. Absolutely, you apply a tourniquet. Period, the end. So... yeah, Jack, that's a hotly contested border already. We actually reported on that yesterday. Wolf! Use crazy glue in a pinch for bad wounds. Me too. Not trying to be a lone wolf thing. Need a wife. Recently moved from Texas to the Ozarks. Well, John, I don't have any wives for
Hashtag
you.
me too, bro.
Arklet Texas, home of Savage. What's up, brother?
Not from
West
Texas,
Palm
though.
Beach. Came across something. Wrap your hat band with fly paper. Problem solved. Hey, that's cool. Who be that? Jonathan Stoltz. Shalom. Get out of the city comes before I have property. What to do with my family? Go to a remote national forest? What clothing for a 2-year-old, 10-year-old child in a bug-out bag? One warm set, one cold set of thermals. Kids' bug-out bags are hard, man. If you live in a place where a bug-out is your primary, that sucks. I get it. If you have kids, probably or anybody, the
Is there
best...
any family that you would have that's outside of the city in a rural area that you can talk to and pre-establish a plan with?
Yeah, 4 walls and a roof rock. They're the best. Even if it's not ideal, it's better than sleeping on the cold forest floor or inside of a tent or anything else. Ultimately, all systems degrade into man-portable systems, but I would highly recommend you get a small trailer and you preload it with all the stuff that you're going to need, and then you develop your bug-out indicators so that you know for you when it's time to go, and you leave while you still can, and then you GTFO. Now it's time to go. we go. Hook the trailer and go. And when I lived in Suburbalon, that was our modus operandi. That's what we did. We had the trailer, it was preloaded. When it was time to go, we'd hook the trailer and we'd go. And then that turns your bug out into, hey honey, you put the kids in the car, I'll throw the bug out bags in the back of the car, pick the trailer up, drop it on the hitch, drop the latch, plug the wires in, and we're gone. And time out the door is like 90 seconds. Rather than trying to pick and choose what's gonna go, what's not gonna go.
Oh, dude, that's the worst.
Yeah. It's
I have experience with
It's almost like you recently bugged out from Pennsylvania.
I missed the Maryland and Virginia checkpoints by like 2 weeks. Like, we're
Appreciate that, Sean. Thank
they
you.
were stopping out of state vehicles on the highways. Like, I left 3 days after the first confirmed case in New York, and I think I left the morning of the day that Pennsylvania had its first confirmed case, which was my neighboring county. And I was like, and several weeks prior to that, which I was planning on coming out here anyway under different circumstances, but it was always getting pushed back. And then when this started happening and developing and turning into what it turned into, I said, if the day New York gets its first case, which I know it's coming, I'm packing up my stuff and I'm leaving within 96 hours. And that's, y'all willing, that's what happened. Like, it's crazy, man. The planning thing, and like, I had a much different plan coming out here than what has actually happened. I wasn't going to be here with what was going on. Like, I was gonna buy a piece of property, court shut down, tied up, property retailers were not going to work, and that didn't happen. And just the whole situation, I had to adapt to it, and then it just kind of just led me here. And this is like, I was like, you're close. You thought you were supposed to be here, but not quite. You're close. You're going to shift a little bit over into this direction and be like, oh, cool, this is where I'm supposed to be at. Awesome.
Well,
I can deal with this for right now.
Yeah, chasing life is right. He has a plan for all of us. I mean, we really wanted
You have to act upon the plan, though.
This is not where we wanted to live, but this is where he wanted us to live. And now we are here, and we are 1/3 of an awesome tribe. We are the Bear Clan. And we were actually thought we wanted to be part of one of the other clans in this tribe. And Yah laughed at that, and he's like, that's cute, I need you over here. And so here we are. And so he laughs at what we think we need and just gives us what we actually need. Somebody said, so, okay, if we don't own property, where do we actually bug out to? Gosh, I'm going to tell you.
Everybody's going to go to a national forest.
That is an incredibly difficult question for me to answer. You need to find somebody somewhere that you know or don't know, somebody that you can team up with.
You go into a national forest, you're going to come into contact with other people that had the same idea, and those people might have rifles, and they might not be willing to talk to anybody, and the next thing you know, you're walking through the woods, and bang.
Yep.
Oh, there's a hole in me that's not supposed to be there.
And very limited resources.
Yeah.
No agriculture. No long-term plan.
You're not going to walk out into the woods and just find food.
I would almost rather.
Family.
I would almost rather 4 families got together in one suburban cul-de-sac and stayed there and held that than went to the national forest as individual families. Because the threat profile in Suburbalon, while there's a higher population density, there's also the higher likelihood of scavenging resources. Although, again, I don't like scavenging, but actually growing food is more likely there, and many hands make light work. You go out into the woods, everybody thinks they're going to bug out to the woods and all of a sudden become a genius at bushcrafting and the world's greatest hunter, trapper, and fisherman. And I'm telling you, if you could do that, you'd already do it. If that was actually something you were capable of, you'd be doing it right now. You'd have a YouTube channel with 1 million views on it because you could do it. but you can't, and you don't rise to your level of expectation, you rise to your level of training. And so if you're not doing it right now, and if you can't do it right now, you're certainly not going to figure it out on the worst day of your life. And I say that, and it sounds highly judgmental when I do say that, but it's because I don't want you to go to a national forest and die. Don't do that.
Hypothermia is a real thing, and the apocalypse isn't guaranteed to be on a nice day or during the day.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing, man.
Like, I went walking out in the woods in a ice storm just to do it, and it sucked. And I was like, I'm gonna try and make a fire. Could not do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely could not do it. And I was trained on how to make fire.
Mm-hmm.
Could not do it. Could not find the resources that were dry to make fire because of ice and constant rain. I could stave off hypothermia, but not through the night. It would have been a whole different story.
I like indoor plumbing. Yep.
Yes, hot water is amazing. It's the best.
What is the question with Quick Clot, Carlos? You're going to ask it 47 more times? Do you have any more context than Quick Clot question mark?
It's a good... Listen,
For what?
It works.
It comes in every one of our damn kits. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
The military uses it. If you get a cut, you can use it. If you get a hole in it, you can use it. But when you apply it, it's going to burn and it's going to suck. You don't want to use it unless you have to.
Yeah, and
It's good to have. Not fun to
impregnated
use.
gauze is pretty much the way to go.
Combat gauze.
Yeah.
Just buy combat gauze.
Because at some point it's got to come back out again, and that's the problem with things like Celox granules. They have to get scraped back out of the wound. There's debridement that occurs.
Syringe stuff.
Dude,
no.
Yeah.
I had a spider bite when I was in high school,
Preach it.
and I had to get that bite lanced. So they had to cut out the dead tissue out of the inside of my thigh and pack it full of gauze. And then after a week, and it's slowly pulling the gauze out, they were like, oh, we need to take all the rest of the gauze out, like a clown at a circus. And then they're like, oh, and now we're going to repack it. And that was for a hole that would have been an entry wound no bigger than the size of a 22.
Yep.
And it was no deeper than maybe an inch. And that sucked.
Yep.
That sucked. I hope you got local anesthetic because it's gonna suck if you don't. And it sucked with it. Like, it was terrible.
Jack Watts, 1414. FYI, you and Hami have quite changed the direction of our family's life here in Tennessee, and my brothers in Michigan also. And now Yankee is helping me explain the Constitution to my 16-year-old son and 8-year-old daughter. That's awesome,
That's
bro.
awesome, man.
Thank you. See that? Like, it matters. It matters. This matters. That's awesome. Thank you, Jack Watts.
That makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Lidocaine. Lidocaine 4%, brother. That's right. You know,
Or a
I'm
lot-
telling
or
you.
a lot of whiskey.
Or a lot of whiskey. I am telling you, man, my dog gets so sick sometimes that I am just forced to shop at shopmedvet.com and get all these ridiculous things for my dog, you know,
And your sheep.
and my sheep too.
Baby, it's almost dark.
What's your view on taking on more debt, VA home loan, Olympic, Pennsylvania, Washington, versus staying and renting in Nashville, former 11 Bravo Fort Lewis? The only thing that I can say on a VA loan against a house is at least you have an actual physical asset to balance that debt against. But
The problem with that is repossession.
yeah.
Because it's a government entity giving you that money.
Hey, John, no. I like it there. That's why it's there.
I'm not man. I mean, I wouldn't be I'm not against using the VA home loan because I might use the VA home loan, but it's like it's not my first priority. If I want to get a mortgage, I mean, the no money down thing is nice, but I'd rather just not have a lot. So I must have missed something.
It's okay. We got baby chicks.
But yeah, man, here's the thing, and I think a lot of Americans have this twisted nowadays. The new normal is changing. The dollar isn't worth as much, and the American dream doesn't necessarily mean 2 full bathrooms, a master bedroom, and 2 other bedrooms with a big kitchen and a big porch and all this other stuff in a 2-car garage anymore. I can't afford it being debt free. I can't afford a house like that being debt free. I cannot do it. So maybe that house is more like, 1 bathroom, 1 full bathroom with a master bedroom and another bedroom, and the kids are in bunks, and it's just a living room, kitchen, dining room area, and you might only be chilling in, 1,000 square feet with a carport on the side of your building. Like that, I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm. I don't want to live above my means anymore, and I think because of the direction that we have gone for the last few decades since the last World War, it's just been bigger is always better, more expensive, more expensive, more expensive, more debt, more debt, more debt. Well, I don't want any more debt. I think it's time for Americans to realize what is actually important in their lives, stop wasting money on things that it doesn't need to be wasted on, and actually live within our means again. Because the normal from 2019 is not going to be the normal of 2020, and right now it's not. There are people that are literally going to lose their house because the government stimulus check, which is what the government deemed what is necessary for you to have to cover your bills, is not enough for most people because they have too much debt. That's where I'm at.
Burdette, beholden to no man, exactly. I'll add this. Somebody said, Bear, why so serious? Bro, you don't even know 4% of Bear. Bear's a serious guy. I get goofy occasionally, but I'm a serious guy. And then we are commanded to be set apart. I don't want the American dream that is tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars
We have
of unsecured
bananas.
debt. We have bananas? We do? Tell the people, we have bananas?
We have bananas.
Are they delicious bananas? Can you use words, though? Who are you?
No.
No one? How did you get in here, no one? What are you doing?
Nothing.
Nothing. Bug out bananas. Nice. I don't want a life full of death. Full of debt. Hey. Thank you. Now we can talk about conspiracy theories.
Eggs.
That's for the eggs?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's for the eggs.
That's for the eggs. Oh, you're gonna go get eggs with Mama?
No, we're gonna go candle eggs.
Oh, we're gonna go candle eggs. Awesome.
We had some
So
I cracked an egg this morning in the skillet and it was red.
yeah, you gotta watch for that.
You gotta look out for that.
Yummy.
So
I don't want to live the normal American life because the normal American life is unsustainable, and it's people deriving their self-worth from how much their possessions cost and trying to flex on their neighbors for essentially ego and posturing, and it's a bunch of bullshit, and I'm not interested in it at all. We're blessed that we have no debt, but people act like that was some kind of miracle, that we just one day woke up, it was like, boom, a poof, all of our debt disappeared. It's like, no, why is Bear so serious? Because Bear knows what 100-hour weeks for 3 years are like to destroy that debt so that we can make the jump. And so it's honestly one of the reasons why I get frustrated when people tell me, Bear, you don't understand, I can't do it. And I'm like, I don't want to hear it, bro. I don't want to hear all the reasons why you can't. All I can tell you is you're right. If you don't think you can, you're absolutely right. But if you've made it up in your mind that there is 100% no way that anybody is ever going to stop me from accomplishing this goal, you're right. And it's going to get done. You will achieve it. So, yeah. I really don't know about taking on more debt. Credit is also drying up significantly. And also, many of y'all have asked about the HR 6666 bill. Now, those numbers are clearly not grand. However, we've addressed this in the last 3 daily briefs. The last 3 days, we've talked about HR 6666. What that bill does is free up funding for contact tracers. It does not mandate that these tracers can enter your home. It does fund the tracers. There may be at some point somewhere an effort to get those tracers into your home with your permission or forcibly, but the bill does not put that into play. It funds companies that are training contact tracers. So it is the precursor to tyranny. It is not itself tyranny. So, and again, we've only talked about this the last 3 days on the brief. So, what? What?
You can't demonetize.
No step on snack. That's right. Leave my snack alone.
I was watching a podcast and they were talking about all this stuff that we've been tracking on for years. It's like, oh, the investigation's finally starting because Trump dropped a meme on Instagram because Trump's on Instagram now, and it's like, oh, hope you had fun investigating me. Now it's my turn. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, cool. I can't wait to watch this circus unfold. Very interesting timing.
Yeah, circus is a good word for it.
Yeah, that's literally what it is, man. It's like, are they gonna start using Gatorade, the water crop, soon? Like, that's where we're headed. Plants love electrolytes. I'm 28 years old and I'm seeing through this nonsense, and there are so many people my age, plus and minus, that I just want to throat chop.
I'm telling you, man. Whiskey Alfa Romeo. Do you have to special order your beef bacon? Yes, we do, but it is freaking wonderful.
Worth it.
Totally worth it. It comes from, we get it from our butcher, and it comes from a processor in Oklahoma City, I believe. But it's tremendous. It cost us $48 for a case with 8 1-pound packages in it. And so that works out to, Perkins, thank you, Okie. That works out to $6 per pound, which for Why Come You Have No Tattoo. Please for you to make best comment for the live stream for review for tattoos to be on the arm, because why come you have for the comment bad? Nope, don't got in. I don't know anything about tattoos, man. Who tattoos, man? I've never seen. I've only got 2 of them.
They're
They're
Sharpies.
huge.
These are Sharpies.
They're Sharpies. We let the kids play with the Crayola markers the other day, and this is what happened.
Yeah, I finally got my toddler tattoo off.
Hero Soap Co.
Yes.
What the hell were we talking about? Beef bacon.
Good comment for tattoo. No, but yes, beef bacon.
Beef
And
bacon.
something about Okie, Storm Chaser, and Perkins.
Yeah, it comes from Perkins, Oklahoma. Cool. But essentially, it's $6 a pound. So at $6 a pound, that's pretty much the same price you pay for mid-grade to premium swine bacon, and beef bacon is clean in accordance with Leviticus 11. So it rocks. Yeah. Nick, that's awesome, bro. This one arm was done in 1 weekend. This entire sleeve was done in 1 weekend. My buddy is a tattoo artist, and I happened to be in town, and I said, here's how this is going down this weekend. I have $100 bills and a magnum of whiskey, and you're gonna come to my house, and I'm gonna sit, and you're gonna tattoo, and I'm gonna drink whiskey and read a book while you work on me. And so that's what happened, and I spent a little over 20 hours over the course of 2 days. He brought his gear, I handed him cash, and I just sat there and read and drank. And he's like, after 4 hours in, he goes, hey, are you good? I'm like, I'm great. What's up? And he's like, you haven't said a word. I'm like, do your job. And so he did. So, yeah,
waste
one
time.
sitting, entire sleeve, essentially, well, it's 2 sittings, but it's, yeah, over the course of 2 days. So,
I had policies that stopped me from doing
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. I had to follow the rules.
Patrick, we are drinking Templeton Rye right there. That's
Not
what we're
anymore
drinking.
here after
Prime time. What went on behind the scenes when developing the Bear Daily Brief concept? Great idea and solid intel. Cheers and God bless all y'all. Prime time? That's a really good question. I appreciate that. So here's how that worked. The Dance Monkeys were employed by a different facet of our organization in the client services department. And this whole COVID-19 thing kicked off, and there was a lot of bad information out there. And so having researchers already on staff was a blessing. And so I reached out to the Dance Monkeys and said, and I could be remembering this wrong, but my perception is I reached out to them and said, hey, I'd like to put together kind of a daily brief. And I told one of my admins, hey, go ahead and add the email intel@bearindependent.com. We'll have that forward to the Dance Monkeys. And I want to see what's going on with y'all out there in the world, because there was so much bad information going on. I was like, well, who can we really trust with this? Well, again, the Torah, in the mouths of 2 or 3 is everything established. So that's why we lead the brief with an overview that is based upon multiple eyewitness accounts, and then the next from there is 2 or more eyewitness accounts, right? And then as we work our way through the brief, you may have noticed it goes from perhaps the most credible, meaning the most number of eyes, to the least credible, meaning the least number of eyes. Not that necessarily that one person seeing something is not credible, it's just that it's not been corroborated. And so it doesn't mean that something that lots of people has seen is true, because there's a lot of misinformation. And it does not mean that something that only one person has seen is untrue, because it's only one person that's seen it. But that's the way we gradiate that intel. And so I reached out to the Dance Monkeys. They put together the first report, and I coupled that with stuff that I was gathering myself, as well as some highlights from the President's Daily Brief. And then we just went live and started doing it. And I think the first brief got over 10,000 views in an hour. And that's indicative of our content at our channel having good traction, really good traction. And I was like, you know what? This seems to be working. Let's do it for a week and see what happens. We did it for a week. It worked. We did it for another week. It worked, and we're still here. And so that's how it happened. But it stemmed from wanting to use the Bear Nation almost in a sense that we've discussed as for sanctified industries of, we are awesome. Okay, this is something my pastor says, and I love the concept that as individuals, yeah, we're awesome, but as a group, we are much more awesome as a group. And so having 87,000 people out there gathering intel and sending that back to the Dance Monkeys, who then correlate it and stack it in a report and send it to me.
You jumped to 87?
87.3, I think, right now. So
We're at like 80 like 2 weeks ago.
I was at like 70 like 4 weeks ago. It's crazy. Y'all are awesome, man. And so that was the idea behind the Daily Brief, and it's working. It works for me. I think it works for y'all. It works in the algorithm. And so we're going to keep doing it as long as it makes sense to do it. So, and at some point it won't make sense to do it, and then we'll do something else. Because well, thank you, Forge and Woodcraft. I have no ideological attachment to the idea that we have to do this thing forever. Not that I'm looking to axe the daily brief, because I'm not. And just at some point it won't make sense. So we'll do something else. Well, and Eric, thank you, man. I think that's the idea behind this. Is that Jeremiah? Don't worry. We'll be doing the brief for a good while longer. I think y'all get it. I think y'all get it that I'm not a persona, man. It is something that I am deeply aware of, is person, not persona. We're real. I think you guys get that. Like, I'm doing the brief with my chickens in the background and showing you our messed up backyard and my kids' toys strewn all over the place and the freaking weeds growing in the garden because we haven't gone out there yet, and the damn sheep all day, and you know.
Anybody that's been on a Bear Nation mission can verify that. It's like there's no difference between what you guys are seeing here on this iPhone compared to what I'm seeing in real life. It's no different.
I appreciate
and
that.
When I met you for the first time, it was like that was one of the first things that hit me. It was like, oh, this is the same dude. He's not like a total, like, you know, he's a personality on the internet, and then in person he's a completely different person. It's like, no, like, this is the guy. This is who he is, and cool. I know who he is and what we're doing. Good to go. Cool.
I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah. It's real life, man. Just like you said.
We had a guy on the most recent Bethany House deployment. Good guy, really good guy. A law enforcement officer in New Mexico. For about 30 seconds, he's kind of standing there on his hips looking at me with his head cocked sideways. And I'm like, what's up, bro? He goes, oh, you're like this all the time. And I was like, yeah, I'm like this all the time. And he's like, oh, okay. I didn't know. Concrete, exactly. Thank you, brother. And so I think as far as keeping it real, man, that's really what we try and do. So, yeah. Go ahead, pour your whiskey. I know you're trying to over there.
He got me a bottle of this. I'm not promoting it. It's just what it is, and it's amazing. That's where your camera is. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. This is good stuff. I like this. It's like my.
It is good stuff. It is good stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Because we're out of Templeton.
Barry for Prez, man.
It's when people start asking you to run, not when you want to run, bro.
Well, I'm telling you, 2024 is my year. Okay.
I was always saying 2042.
Can wheelchair-bound people find a place in missions? I'm positive we could find a place for you on a mission. My immediate concern off the top of my head would be accessibility for lodging, but it's something that we could talk through for sure. I would implore you, if you're interested in...
Also.
I don't have a denomination. I follow Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ. I believe firmly in the sanctity of our Messiah, and I do what he told me to do. I could care less about doctrines and dogmas of man. Yeah, so accessibility on site is pretty much the primary thing that comes to mind. But I tell you, if you want to deploy with Grindstone, you need to go to Grindstone Ministries and sign.com and sign up for the newsletter, and we will announce our deployments there. And I'll tell you this, and I'll tell you this: I do not want you to come on mission to hang out with me, and I mean this pointedly. Do not come on mission because I'm there. You come on mission because the Father has convicted you to serve his kingdom. That's why you come on mission. You don't come to see Bear in real life. you will see bear in real life, but I do not want people who are going to come because they want to have a bear sighting. I want people who are going to come because the Father has convicted them to serve, to be the hands and feet of their Messiah, to bless the least of these. And Grindstone, I want you to understand this. Grindstone is significantly larger than me. There are hundreds of people who have deployed with us. There are hundreds of people who support us regularly and monetarily. There are dozens of people who are instrumental in the organization and operation of these missions. I'm the guy with the iPhone. I'm the reason you know about Grindstone, but there's an entire network of total badasses that support Grindstone, that make Grindstone things happen on behalf of the kingdom. And so you do a disservice to them if you think you're going to come to Grindstone deployments to hang out with Bear. That's not what it's about. Will I be there? Yeah. But I would remind you that on the second deployment to Bethany House, I was laying in bed dying. I was so sick. So if you had come simply to see me, you would have been greatly disappointed because I wasn't there. Yeah. That's why you do Grindstone stuff, because the Father has called you to do it, not because you want to have well, Concrete Hades, I couldn't keep my hands off of you. Of course, we're going to have human-to-human transmission. He's just so cute. He's just so cute. But that's why you come to Grindstone, man. Not because I'm there. So, anyway. Hey, Barrett, where can they sign up for Grindstone? Badger bless you, brother. Grindstoneministries.com. There's a newsletter there. Grindstoneministries.com. There's a newsletter there. Mose and Nagant. Saving ammo or training? Which one comes first? You should train first, because if you're saving ammo but you can't use it, why save it? Davis, bless you. Thank you.
I've seen a lot of people on the low scale of training, and in force-on-force applications, it didn't end well.
Hold on. SM asked the question, Bear, are you guys really warriors of God? And I just removed him from my channel because I'm going to tell you this one time, everybody within the sound of my voice. First, I in no way need to justify my works to any of y'all. I believe firmly that they speak for themselves, but most importantly, I don't do them for you. I do them for my Creator. Second, I don't like the tone of that question. Third, we serve the Father's kingdom unequivocally. And if you've been on one of the 9 deployments in the last year and a half, you'd know that. So, shitty question. I don't appreciate it. Back to training. Send it.
I've seen a lot of people that had the tools.
Dope heathen, thank you.
And were very minimal on the actual skills to use those tools. And I'm not saying that they weren't able to go to a, dynamic 1 or a dynamic 2 or even a dynamic 3 range and not perform well. But in the world of firearms, to me at least, there's a fourth dimension of training, and it's a fourth dimension, of training, and it's not talked about a lot, and it's not utilized a lot, because all these ranges that make, we're going to hire this Navy SEAL to teach our Intro to Fighting Carbine 1 class to the same group of 50 guys that always come this time of year to take the same class by a different Navy SEAL just so they can say that they took a class by another Navy SEAL. It's like, dude, I get the ego stroking, like I get it, but if you're training inside your comfort zone, you're not training anymore. You peaked, and you shouldn't be peaking because of your ego. Like, fourth dimension training is when it's no longer just pieces of paper and it's no longer pieces of steel. It's real life stuff. And I'm very passionate about this because I had the blessing, and I didn't even know it at the time. And I'm very thankful for it that I had the blessing to work with, you know, guys that their job was to stop 9/11 from happening a second time. And, you know, I was able to work with law enforcement and train other military units that are reserve capacities that I believe right now are currently deployed in Operation, some kind of operation. But,
Holy cow.
huh,
There's a lot of eggs.
that is a lot of eggs.
Sorry.
But it's when you have an actual threat in front of you and it's a person, and there's so many more issues, and there's so little time and so many decisions that you have to make that have permanent ratifications. Like, not a lot of people have that ability to make those split-second decisions. And a lot of people that I've seen, they come in with the wrong mindset of that, oh, I'm just going to do it because it's just like any other training that I've done. And it's not. I've had guys that were certified instructors for the NRA that came in and took a class, and I was the bad guy after a 4-hour block of instruction, and I just ran circles around these guys as a burglar or as a home invader or as, you know, a carjacker or a, you know, a druggie looking to set, you know, rob a liquor store to just get money for my next score, like, you know. And I'm not running through these scenarios with all my tactical skills, you know what I mean. I'm literally just one-handed drawing. I'm not doing everything by the book when it comes to being the bad guy. And it's just, I've seen people where they had all of the time in the world to do what they had to do, and they hesitated because they second-guessed their decision. And it's like, either that or they couldn't process the information fast enough. And it's like, you need the training. Force on force training, learn how to use your gun. First, get a gun that actually fits your hand. Learn how to use it, become proficient at using it, and then learn how to fight with it. There's a difference.
You will very likely not be standing still in the perfect stance with your weapon when you employ it. In fact, if you're standing upright, hips toward the target, like this, not behind cover, taking your sweet time, you're probably going to catch one or two to the face or chest or shoulder or hip or something.
You either already have your sights on them or you lose.
You know, and I think it's worth, when it comes to training as well, discussing that the idea of voluntary hardship, like you're saying, people get into a comfort zone and they stay there.
Yeah.
It's because it strokes their ego to be like, I love Pat McNamara. Pat Mac is awesome. In fact,
He's a BAMF.
Dude, I just
Like,
I just
awesome.
saw the first drill we're doing on that range to christen the range is with your sandbag. It's 10 from 10 with a 50-pound sandbag on your shoulder. Yeah, and I love the functionality of the way Pat Mac trains people to fight.
Yeah,
Okay,
by actually getting stressed out.
yeah.
Physically.
We run a lot of Pat Mac drills at the range when we go train with the brothers.
Dude,
But
that was one of the main reasons why I bought that bag.
yeah,
Was to bring it to the range and be like, cool, I'm gonna do 10 sandbag burpees, and then I'm gonna do 10 push-ups with the drag in between each push-up, and then I'm gonna do 10 over-the-shoulder throws, and then I'm gonna run down to the line, run back, and then do my course of fire. But I didn't have my own personal range, so I couldn't do that.
so.
I used it in other ways, but I still got the job done. It was fun.
But all that being said, man, people need to learn to voluntarily accept some hardship.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've never actually executed a shot on target with your forehead on the ground, face in the dirt, gun like this, one hip on the ground, other knee up, and essentially sideways from underneath cover, and you've got this much space to
With the ejection port facing the dirt.
exactly. Try not to have a mechanical malfunction.
And dust and debris just in your face, and it's like
At night,
I think I'm shooting where I'm supposed to be.
at night, while trying to positively identify the target and light it with your weapons light. You know, that's way different. John Taylor, bless you. Thank you. Davis, thank you. Ken Warland, thank you. Bless y'all. And so, and that's way different than this standardized drill. Now, this standardized drill matters, and maybe you start there, but then you got to progress past that. And it's like you say, taking pistol one from 5 different instructors to say, I've trained with all these guys. You're stroking your ego at this point. You're not actually growing. You're not actually engaging in voluntary hardship. You're not getting any better. You're just flexing. So, there you go.
Train in the hard things and get uncomfortable. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I think that's something
Deborah,
that they
bless
teach
you.
SEALs at Buds.
Right?
Get comfortable with the idea of being uncomfortable and suffer in silence.
Will a Unilever ring mount give me better comfort on my bolt receiver with the 4x12 50 Vortex, or should I reduce my scope back to a red dot? If you're running a bolt action with a red dot in heavy brush or short shots inside of 100 maybe, maybe out to 200 if you really want to, but comfort, man, is highly subjective. I really don't know. Yankee, what is your favorite grown-up cereal and your favorite kid's cereal? Great question. I like it. Let's talk about cereals.
Honey Bunches of Oats.
Good answer.
With almonds is my favorite adult cereal.
That's your responsible
My
choice.
responsible
I like
cereal. And my favorite kid's cereal, I'm going to have to go, it's either a toss-up between Captain Crunch
Okay.
or Reese's Puffs.
Very good. I don't like
Or
the
Peanut Butter Crunch.
I don't like the all of those cereals. Captain Crunch, Peanut Butter Crunch, and Reese's are all delicious, but it feels like somebody has sanded the top of my mouth
Yes.
with 80 grit when I
My cereal doesn't cut the roof of your mouth.
If you ain't bleeding, you ain't eating. It's like, oh, got it. I thought this was food that we're supposed to enjoy.
Man. Yeah.
Okay. Can I answer this question?
for it, man.
Okay, cool. Is this
I
not
want
this?
to answer it too.
You
We're
wanna
finally
answer
getting
too?
back on
Well,
track of
come on,
fun things.
Come on
instead
back
of
over.
Like,
Bear,
do this or you're gonna die.
why so
Like-
serious? Because I've been up since 4:30 in the morning, operating 3 businesses in a ministry. That's why.
Yeah.
What's up, gorgeous? I'm gonna kill all the boys within 5 counties. They're all dead. Every one of them. We need the compost. And the price. Let's see. The price for your marriage is 52 wool blankets and a herd of hair sheep. That's a minimum. And I must meet and pass judgment on this boy child first.
Okay, what's yours?
Okay, my respectable adult answer is Kashi Goleen Crunch. Which
I don't even know what that is.
Which it's like Honey Bunches of Oats, but freaking good. It's actually a workout while you eat it.
It's Honey Bunches of Oats, but good.
I have literally gotten face cramps while eating this cereal before because it's delicious, but it's
man.
like you're actually burning calories while you're eating calories. And then my childhood answer is Cocoa Pebbles, bro.
Cocoa Pebbles.
Yeah,
so weird.
because
Because
it's
you like soggy chocolate.
Yeah,
No,
exactly. They
no.
get soggy in like 2 seconds.
if you sit around long enough to let that S turn soggy, that's your fault, bro.
They're hard.
I just
Mixing
like having
bowl.
a big bowl.
Mixing bowl, a whole box of cereal, half a gallon of milk,
And a ladle for
and then
spoon.
a ladle or a mixing spoon.
I don't. My mouth
That
isn't-
fast,
I don't
bro.
have a bear-sized mouth.
Well,
It's like a personal problem.
listen.
I have a little mouth.
Oh, all right, babe. What's your answer here? Adult cereal and Randy Say or Sia or Siaya
I
or
haven't
Randy?
noticed
Great
them.
question. Thank you.
Yeah. This is
My
fun.
adult cereal is Raisin Bran,
Dang, you took mine.
but with
Really?
like a half a spoonful of extra sugar. Yep.
Makes the medicine go down.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then kid
Slurp it
cereal
like
is
melted ice cream. Yep.
corn pops.
I like that.
Can I answer?
Tommy likes cinnamon toast crunch. Tommy, you're such a badass. That's a
That was like my top 5.
honorable mention for sure.
Yes.
Okay, my favorite adult cereal is Raisin Bran, but with extra raisins.
Ooh.
And
Extra healthy.
The switch up.
my favorite childhood cereal. I don't know if this counts because not many children actually like it, but I like Honey Nut Cheerios.
Honey Nut Cheerios is a good answer. I like it.
It's good for your cholesterol.
It is great for your cholesterol. I don't know. I don't think I have any of that, but
That was on the
Quaker Oat Squares. Nice. Mr. T cereal. Awesome.
What?
Right.
Ram Clan Oreos.
Right.
Tapped her in the butt.
I had a box of Oreos over at Ram Clan. They were like,
Cinnamon Toast Crunch and follow it with Raisin Bran. I like that.
What?
Frosted Count Chocula is good. So here's the thing though, like when you're eating clean, think about this. This is an issue, right? Because marshmallows are made with hydrogenized pig fat, which is just gross. Like even if you'd think like eating pigs is cool, that's just gross. And so,
I
because
can't
like,
even say that word.
yeah, who wants like aerosolized pig drippings in their
Ew.
breakfast cereal? Blech. It's gross. And so like we don't get down with the Lucky Charms anymore or anything that's got
I
marshmallows
used
in
to
it.
love Lucky Charms. That was my favorite.
Lucky Charms, that's a good
Charms
cereal.
is
It's
pretty good.
essentially
It's unclean, 9.
it's essentially Cheerios plus marshmallows, but you know. And I'm also the kind of I like just straight Cheerios. I'm a big fan of straight Cheerios.
Remember
so.
when Trix used to have shapes and then we
Yes!
became adults and the shapes disappeared?
What the F bomb?
Because they're for kids, man.
I do not believe this.
They did this on purpose.
This is like the Berenstein Bears, like that, like false
Bernstein
reality.
Bears?
No,
Not Berenstein.
it's the new-
Go get one
It's
off
the new
shelf.
global
We don't
cereal
have one.
conglomerate, man.
Are you telling me I even imagine the fact that we have the
Silly
Berenstein?
Yes, we don't have
Yes.
that.
We have definitely.
We do have
yes,
the
we
Berenstein.
do.
Yeah,
Yes,
we do.
we do. Mandela
Okay,
effect.
well,
That's
I don't
exactly
read
it.
children books.
What is happening to this live stream?
It's great.
It
It's
just
so
got
much
real.
fun.
Mitch Morris, shalom, brother.
We
We
can
love
use
you,
that to
bro.
find more
I hope
If you
you're
guys
doing
are
good.
not liking and sharing this live stream with your friends on all the platforms, you're wrong.
No, this is actually bad PR because they're like, you should get your daily news from this guy. Like, I don't know. And now I'm wondering about you too, since you shared this with me. Yeah, this is one of those things. The Beren. Yeah, I'm telling you, the Berenstein Bears thing is real, bro. Yeah.
I'm missing out on that. I'll get the intel from you on
Yeah,
that later.
definitely do not look it up on Reddit because 14 hours later you're gonna just be smacking your head into a wall, being like, everything I know is a lie. Honeycombs is a good one. Great answer.
I got
What's a
this is a
honey
blast
toast?
from the past.
Send it.
French toast crunch.
Yeah.
When the pieces actually look
Those are
like
Look
pretty
French
like
good.
little
toast.
pieces of bread.
Yes, that
those
isn't
were
even a
awesome.
thing
Those were
anymore.
pretty good.
That needs to come
I've
back.
had those before.
That
Somebody, it does. No, I think they discontinued that.
What?
I have not seen it anywhere. I haven't seen it in Costco's.
People
I haven't
probably
seen
died
it in
from
Sam's
from
Club.
how much sugar's in there.
This is potentially the worst thing that has happened because of COVID-19.
Please, if somebody knows
the
differently,
lack of
please let me
breakfast
know.
cereals.
Yeah, if
Apple Jacks is so good.
not
I
cinnamon
like
toast
Apple
crunch,
Jacks.
French toast
Listen,
crunch.
cereal is essential. Okay.
I don't like Apple
Cereal
Jacks.
is essential.
I think they got into a lawsuit with cinnamon toast.
There's no Apple Jacks anymore.
No, there's
No, I just
Okay.
don't like.
You don't like Apple Jacks?
No.
All right, now we're only charging 26 wool blankets for you. Get out of here. Reduced
Find
by
my
half.
50% off. Buy yours today.
Oh man.
I eat cereal
Oh,
like once or
man.
twice a year. I eat
Honey
cereal
on
once or
cereal.
twice
I've never
a day.
tried that. That sounds good though.
Cereal for dinner.
French toast crunch,
I've done that many
bigly.
times.
Yes.
I see. Here's my thing though. Like I don't have a gray area, so there's no like I'm gonna have a bowl of cereal. It's I'm gonna have a box of cereal, right? And that's a
We're on the
problem.
loco.
That's a problem. That's right.
Cheeseburger without the buns.
Exactly. My anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hon. It's very true.
Okay.
It's very true.
That cheese, though.
Yeah, that cheese though.
Hey, Nine,
That
you love
cheese,
me
though.
fish.
Don't draw on your shirt.
Apple Jacks have marshmallows now.
Don't they?
In the Berenstein Bears world, maybe they do. Cookie Crunch, great
Yeah, that's
answer,
good.
Yes.
Cookie Crunch.
You
Yeah.
only let me get it like
it's
2
Cookie
times.
Crisp. It's not Cookie Crunch. It's Cookie Crisp.
Is it?
And the
Yeah.
dog
think
used to be
so.
like a short, fat dog, and now they made him like a tall, slender wolf because they're trying to like that promotes child obesity, and it's like it's cereal.
Whoa!
Like,
Why are we judging the body
I don't
composition
know, man. That's
of
all
that
the SJWs
of that
are
healthy
like,
and
yeah.
beautiful dog?
Yeah, he's perfectly healthy. He's not obese.
Someone
He
has
just
Cookie
he's
Crisp.
pleasantly plump.
And Frosted Flakes. Frosted Flakes are good.
Listen, if you have Cookie Crisp
I like
and or
Frosted
Apple
Flakes,
Jacks,
too.
we will give you our PO box. Okay? I'm
What?
just- I'm
Apple
just-
Jacks are gross.
Apple Jacks and Cookie Crisp resupply.
Apple Jacks are ridiculously good.
What are
And a
crusty
dairy- and a
O's?
dairy
That
cow.
doesn't even sound good. They're crusty O's.
Frosted.
The like
Like-
malto meal.
Oh, those are
off-brand.
actually
Oh,
really
Think of a
good.
glazed
Those are
donut.
pretty
Think of a
good.
glazed donut, but a Cheerio.
Favorite MRE meal and trade story.
Spaghetti
dude,
store.
that's a good one.
SpaghettiOs and meatballs.
Buffalo chicken.
SpaghettiOs and meatballs are definitely my favorite.
And
Yeah.
I traded.
Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops are good. I used to.
I had a guy who was completely out of tobacco products.
Honey smacks are delicious. Go
And
ahead.
I was that guy that would bring extra with me back when I used to do that.
Crave
and
is good too.
I would-
want all the cereal now.
Sell that stuff and be like, hey man, I have a tab and you owe me X amount when we leave this field op, bro, because you didn't bring enough. Right? Well, I told this guy, I was like, I'll tell you what, man, we still have like 3 weeks left on this op. I will give you 4 packs if you can bring me 10 packets of sour Skittles.
Whoa.
And by gosh, he brought
Whoa.
me 10 packs of sour Skittles.
Ew, no, I
Whoa.
like the OG
Yep.
Skittles. OG Skittles are the best.
Badger,
And $20.
Badger,
Like-
if on the next live stream I'm 432 pounds and really bloated, you know what happened. We went on a cereal binge.
I could just see a bookshelf of nothing but apple.
Dad, remember when you got like 6 boxes of cereal, or like 8 boxes of shit?
Yeah, I'm the worst at grocery shopping because, again, I don't have a gray area.
Don't go grocery shopping when you're hungry.
But I'm
That's
telling you
disaster.
what, if you've deployed with us on Grindstone and you're like, where did all these cookies and granola
Yeah.
bars and M&Ms and all this stuff come from? It's because before every deployment, we go to, like, typically before the world ended, we would go to a Walmart, and me and my kids would just walk through the aisles and be like, we need one of those and 3 of those and get one of those and do one of it. And then we go grocery shopping, and then we'd get there and be like, okay, so I guess we're eating cookies and drinking chocolate milk for the next 3
Dude,
days because
Dad.
that's the groceries we bought. So,
Dad,
yes.
do you remember when we were on deployment? And I think Nicole went and got like 4 bags of cookies and we ate them within like an hour.
Yes.
That was
Yeah.
fun.
That was Scott, I think, suggested the cookie resupply for morale, and then Nicole went and got
Yeah.
a metric butt ton of cookies.
And then we ate them.
But when you
all.
have like 30 hungry
Hey,
adults who have been getting after it all day, 4 boxes of cookies is nothing.
Whoa.
Whoa,
I remember
So-
that well.
close.
That was only
We'll grab it.
87
Grab
feet.
it.
Only 87
Only
feet,
87.
500 foot plus later. Yeah.
Oink, oink.
By hand. 3 feet at a time.
Oh
You
man.
can live on chocolate milk.
Would you consider going on tour to do a meet and greet when this is all over sometime in the future? You know, Sarah, I've thought about that.
Fun.
Let me answer that truthfully. Would I consider it? Yes. Do I have the bandwidth to be away from my family, my homestead, and my businesses for an extended period of time? No. Do I have the interest to do something like that? Kind of. Do I think that I'm special enough to warrant some type of tour? No. Now, back in the day when this channel was called Squid and Bear, we talked about hooking up Squid's camper trailer and just making like a mini tour through Texas and into Louisiana, then up into Arkansas and over into Oklahoma and around to New Mexico and back down to West Texas and then back over to North Texas again, and just go meet some people that we've become friends with on the internet and hang out and kind of do like bouncing live streams across the region. And I think something like that could be very cool, but I don't know what I would offer y'all on tour. And I gotta tell you, my working thesis is I am not that special. I love y'all, I really do. But there ain't a one of us here that's any better than the rest of us. Okay? I just,
Disaster doesn't happen when it's convenient.
yeah.
Leaking down me.
So,
No, go potty now.
I don't know, man.
This feel my baby.
No, you good. Go pee.
Thanks.
I know. I'm gonna feed him some Swiss rolls. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Swiss rolls.
Favorite
yes.
little Debbie. Go. Go.
Gosh.
Bob, get in here. We gotta know.
I mean, I eat them all.
You are
Cosmic brownies.
Cosmic brownies. Shiny says cosmic brownies.
I
Over
heard
here,
little
Bob.
Debbie's. I was like,
Over
oh.
here. Bob, you're an expert. You can only pick one. You can only pick one. What do you got?
Well, I have a tie between two.
You have a tie between two?
Yes.
Well, that's not really one. But, okay, we'll do an A day, B day. If you could eat one on Monday and one on Tuesday, what would it be?
Probably good for
Oatmeal cream pies on Monday,
Okay.
and the peanut butter.
The Nutter Bars.
No.
No.
What? The peanut butter oatmeal cream
Oh
pie.
my
Oh.
gosh. I
I got
forgot
mine.
about the peanut butter crunch things. Those are wonderful.
My A days are fudge rounds, obviously.
Okay. Nice. Good
and
answer.
then cosmic brownies.
Okay.
chocolate.
Good answer. Good answer from the
Eldest.
no, from our sugar intake experts.
Okay, mine is the peanut butter chocolate, the Nutty Buddies.
Shawn
Are
Michael,
those
bless
little
you.
round things that are
No,
like the
they're
chocolate?
No,
the
not
two
like
in
the
a pack.
Abe Lincoln log home things.
No, not
Yeah.
the logs.
They look like Lincoln logs
They
made
got
of
the
peanut butter.
wafer.
They're circles.
Nutty Buddies are the bomb.
Nutty
though.
Buddies.
Okay.
And Star Crunch.
Star Crunch. Dude, Star Crunch is the bomb. What do you got, Yank?
I'm not big into that.
G.
What is it? What do
T,
you call it? It's not
F,
big in where I'm
O.
from.
Little Debbie? You know, where you're from is Entenmann's.
Is a little. What is like that? It's like a chocolate.
The cupcake with the
It's like a
filling
chocolate
and the,
cupcake with like a cream filling with the chocolate frosting with some vanilla streaks in it.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm talking about? That,
Yeah.
whatever that's called.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it's called, bro.
Those are
But
good, though.
That's one that I would
Those are
grab.
good.
And then they have another one where it's like a coffee cake or something. You know what I'm talking about? And it has like the little crust
Those
on top.
are good.
Yes,
With the
that's
little
what I would bring
crunchy
out
things
hunting
on
with
top?
me. Yeah, that would be my hunting snack. I'd bring like 3 packs of that, or just an entire box with me in my pack out in the woods when I go hunt.
Naturally.
But
But.
pre-package them so that I didn't have to open
Right,
the wrapper
no
and make all that
crinklies.
noise. Yeah. Yep.
I like that.
So I just wrapped them in paper towel. They were good to go. Gotta be smarter than deer.
So, anybody who's been at this channel for a good long while knows that I am like essentially a peanut butter fiend. If there was a peanut butter anonymous, I would probably need to be there right now.
If there was a shortage on peanut butter, people will die.
Yeah, if there was a 4-year white oak aged peanut butter, I would be drinking that. Like, it's the bomb.
There has to be a peanut butter whiskey.
There's got to be. There's not only a peanut butter whiskey, but a peanut butter connoisseur. We need to find that guy and live stream with him, or girl. I mean, look.
Dude, I didn't literally. I just put peanut and it wasn't even spelled correctly, and it was the The
Peanut
third,
butter whiskey.
The third search.
That's because Google is listening.
They're listening,
to you.
man.
They've got eyes everywhere, man.
What?
The reptilian overlords. They're using the peanut butter to raise everybody's cholesterol so that when we all contract COVID-19, we'll have heart complications and die so that they can depopulate the planet and enact the Agenda 2030, which they need so that Bill Gates can become supreme emperor of the universe.
Dude, Old Smoky makes it.
Okay, we shall get. Okay, so peanut butter cream pies are awesome, but every time I eat one of them, I'm pretty sure I go into a diabetic coma. They got to be like 80% just white granular sugar. They're ridiculous. But then those like peanut butter crunch log things that's like a cookie with peanut butter inside of it with chocolate on the outside of it. Yeah,
More of
you
like a
don't know.
Nutter Butter cookie kind
Nutter
of guy.
Butters rock, bro. They rock.
Nutter Butters or Oreos?
Whoa. Mitch, I was cool with the constant bayonets, but you get that ketchup flavored chip thing out of here, bro.
What?
You have been booted from the ship.
Listen, man.
You didn't make it onto the ark.
Ranch and Chipotle are the only toppings acceptable for deep fried pickles, okay?
Chasing life. They're definitely they're listening to me, okay? We have like pushing 1,700 pieces of content on the internet. They're definitely listening to me.
There are people that work for government alphabet soup agencies.
David
that
White.
Their literal job
Right.
is to go on social media and look for stuff.
Yeah, and listen,
That's a thing.
never
It is real.
forget that I work for the ATF, the FBI, and the CIA simultaneously as a criminal informant, according to our most recent delusional stalker. So clearly they're listening to us.
I have to do my homework.
Okay,
Dude.
do that homework.
I would love for that person to come here and just let Sam rip their windpipe out. Like, sorry, bro, I warned you. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't even have to kill you. I'm gonna let 120 pounds of hate tackle you to the ground and disembowel you. Sounds good. Sounds good.
That dog literally will murder anything that doesn't belong on property.
And
Like, I came driving into the driveway.
with a smile on its
Yeah.
face.
Like, I came driving into the driveway the first time and met Sam, and he was like, "Oh, T said you're cool. I guess you're cool." And then he decided to get hit by a truck the next day. I'm like, "T, get in the truck. We gotta go." And Sam's like, "Oh, Rod, you were gonna kill a dude for me. You're cool." We didn't kill the guy. We didn't find him.
No.
12.
You're 6812?
Yeah.
Awesome.
How much you weigh?
Yeah, but
Probably.
here.
Um,
Just pull it.
The scale determines age.
Barrett, what's your favorite ice cream? I was just thinking about ice cream.
Yeah, how did
We were talking about this yesterday.
Do the Sam Dadham famous voice, please.
Get to know Bear with Bear.
Who wants the Sam voice? Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Can I be famous on the internet?
I'm a period
I really want to lick your hand. It tastes like blood and sweat. You're delicious, Dad. Did you kill things? Can I eat it? I like it when you kill things so I can eat it, Dad.
I smell really bad when I'm wet.
Do you have any kidneys, Dad? By the way, I smell terrible. Hey, you know that giant pile of compost you made? I definitely crawled through it for you. I made it a little bit flatter. Thanks, Dad. You're the best, Dad. Okay, bye.
But if you saw Sam and how he runs, like we were out like PTing earlier today, and the kids were like, "Y'all have been in this house, cooped up, not doing nothing. Y'all are grabbing the sandbag, and you're gonna go have some fun with me for the next 45
I
minutes."
told the whole
And just the way that Sam runs, it is hilarious. Because it's like he's all serious up in the front and he's all lazy in the back. Like
Yes.
his back legs are like
They
a
just
beat and a
do
half
this.
slower than the front.
They just do
Yeah.
this, like, that's it. Like, they don't even move. They just articulate at the hips
He
only.
bounces, yeah.
His front legs, he does this, but his back legs just do this. It's ridiculous. They look like a flapper valve. They just back and forth. But he runs at like 35 miles an hour
Yeah, he's
without
quick.
trying. And again, 120 pounds of arf. Arf! Arf!
Dude, he's finding his bark too.
Yeah, and then the other thing is, it's like, You'll be standing there and you'll hear like,
Nothing.
yeah, you're like,
Wait,
and then the dog's on you. You're like, what the fuck? Oh, it's just Sam. Okay, cool.
Yeah, literally did
So-
that to me twice today, and I was legitimately like looking for my gun.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh, it's the mountain lion. Like,
he went.
this
Oh
is,
my goodness.
He's so funny though.
How can I protect a garden in a tornado? Tabitha, thank you for the $2. I have
Pray to
no
Yah.
idea. Pray to Yah. He's a year old, Chuck. I really don't know. Put it underground? I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, if a tornado's coming through and it's close to you, save your own hide. You
Chips
can buy
on
more chickens.
sandwiches.
Your
Good
life is more
question.
important than vegetables, unless your life is
Tossed
dependent
salad.
on
I like that
vegetables.
PAEMT.
Chips on sandwiches, absolutely.
Hold on.
Especially if they're
We did this on Patreon.
Turkey and chicken with Cool Ranch Doritos.
Hold on.
No.
Cheese Doritos.
Hold on.
No.
We did this on Patreon. We actually literally took the time to do a poll as a post on Patreon. I need to know in the comments, just red or blue. Doritos, red or blue? Red or blue
Send it.
Doritos? Red. That's right. Red. Come at me, bro.
All the nacho or
No,
all
it's
the
all
ranch?
about the red. Come on with the red.
Captain
red,
America
red.
or Iron Man?
Red.
Pick one.
Red.
Red or blue?
Red. Both is not an option.
I
You didn't
blue.
follow the rules. You're kicked off the mothership. Red, 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 dark red, red, red.
Spicy
Red, no other. That's
I see
exactly
you.
right. Keep going. What else we got?
Man, there
Red.
is no
red,
love for Cool Ranch.
Red.
blah, blah, blah.
No, not blue, seriously. No, Alex, you're wrong.
Was that Alex Wingo? That was great.
It's all about the red. It's all about the red. Red. That's right, Ken. That's right. All the reds. Red.
Okay, I
The
think
purple-
nacho
yeah.
cheese
I'm
wins.
telling you. The purples are pretty good too, but don't turn my chips purple. You're already trying to turn Texas
Remember the
purple.
Jacked, the blue cheese in Buffalo?
Yeah.
Jack Doritos. It's
Yeah.
like you bite, like you're like on a Dorito, dude. You're like, what is happening?
Oh my gosh. So yes, chips on sandwiches for show.
Totally.
That is a hard go. You were
With
cleared
pickle
hot.
chips. Put pickle chips on any sandwich.
Excuse me.
The best chips
I would put
on
pickles.
sandwich.
Tremendous.
You get beef bologna and some mustard, and
Got
you
it,
pile
got
that
it,
thing
got it,
with
got
either
it, got it,
Fritos
got it,
or
got it,
regular
got it,
Lay's
got it,
potato
got it,
chips.
Like
Diabetes.
Pile it and just smush. You smush your bread flat. It's like
It's a jam sandwich.
it's a jam sandwich.
Y'all ever have a jam
Delicious.
sandwich? You eat jam sandwiches when you're poor. Okay? So you get a slice of bread. You get another slice of bread. And you jam those mo suckers together and eat it. Because you got nothing to put in between it. It's called a jam sandwich.
Real talk.
Real talk.
Stuff on a shingle.
Yeah.
My
Scheiße.
dad. So my dad's parents
Please.
were
No, you can't. Spray that.
Y'all had bread.
young
Go
teenagers.
get a little
Or,
towel so
you know,
can wipe
they were
it.
like in, you know, plus or minus 10 years old
Right.
during the Great Depression.
Right,
My dad's
right,
mom
yeah.
and dad, my grandparents. And my dad told me stories growing up in the 50s. Growing up in the 50s and early 60s, that they were so poor
I
that
got
all they
family in
could have
Oswego.
was mashed potato sandwiches. Now, just to pay homage to my dad, I made mashed potatoes. I got 2 slices of bread, and I made myself a mashed potato sandwich. Hey, man, I threw a little bit of taco seasoning on that. I was good to go. I'll do that
I
for a
dig
winter.
it. So somebody asked where I grew up in upstate New York. I have family in Oswego. I'll tell you that. And then I'm not going to go too deeply into where I grew up into upstate New York because a bunch of y'all weirdos are like trying to mine my data, which is stupid. But suffice it to say, upstate New York. And then, yeah, hot chips over regular chips. It depends. A lot of those, like, there are some chips out there that are just too hot to be enjoyable. Sometimes I want flavor,
The
not
flaming
just my
hot's a
face
little
on fire.
overrated now.
So, yeah.
Plus, like, red 40 and yellow 7 or whatever is, like, cancer causing. So I try not to eat that stuff.
Dude, and some of that red coloration comes from squashed beetles.
Yeah.
Not even lying. Like, it's disgusting. Like, the only way they can get that color is they specifically breed and raise this particular beetle so that they can squish it, and then when its guts come out, that's the color that it is, and then they dehydrate those squished guts into a powder and then sprinkle that on your food so that it'll be a nice enticing color. And I'm like, yeah, but I read the Torah and it says don't eat that shizer because it's not food, and I don't really want like squished beetle belly guts dehydrated and sprinkled on my food anyway, so I don't do that. A1P, that's what I'm saying. Beavers, ugh. Blech. No thank you.
Pause, man. Can't do it. Not compliant.
Yeah, yuck. I'm not joking, man. It's for real. No, I don't eat shrimp, bro.
As a hat.
I don't eat shrimp. Shrimp is bottom feeder. It's like, can you eat your air filter in your HVAC system? You can. Does that make it food? No. So we don't eat it. It doesn't have fins or scales. And, you know, actually, once we started keeping Torah, because we used to enjoy eating seafood. Like, we get a decent amount of seafood.
Dude, I miss crab legs.
And, yeah,
not really anymore, though.
My wife was a nut
used to
for
miss them.
crab legs. And then it's like when you start thinking about it, it's like seafood is ultimately an excuse to dip, like, second-rate protein in butter. That's what it is.
That's exactly
That's what it
it
is. So why don't you get first-rate protein? Why don't you get a giant cowboy steak, bone-in ribeye, 32 ounce, broil that sucker, and then char the outside, cut it up, and dip that in butter. You know what? I've done it. It's freaking delicious.
Have you ever had butter dipped beef bacon? I haven't, but I'm gonna try it soon.
Tomorrow,
Because
we'll
all the
eat
cholesterol.
it. Tomorrow, it's only
Today.
a day
Literally today.
away. Somebody said favorite whiskey. I like that. So Scotch is not whiskey and whiskey is not Scotch. So I guess if I have,
Yucky butt.
I don't get paid by this company. It'd be awesome.
can you imagine if we did
It's
though?
awesome
Let's
if I
just
could've been.
pause time for a minute.
Yeah.
And pause. If anybody knows anybody at Lead Slingers, we would definitely get along. We're
Fighting spirit is the best. I brought like a dozen bottles down for Sakota.
you surely did.
Because I think I traveled the
We're-
farthest.
we're
That was, like, my
already-
thing.
Yeah.
Mom,
We're already
yucky.
consuming Lead Slingers whiskey and Black Rifle coffee
I love
fairly
that.
regularly,
Yeah.
like daily.
This
so
is literally a BRCC t-shirt.
right. So if anybody knows anybody at their organization, maybe point them in the Bear Independent / Yankee Survival direction. And time in. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Um,
Lead Slingers.
You don't
Man,
like
I used to
Maggie.
drink the Jack Daniels and all that other stuff. Jameson.
yeah.
And like my favorite beer was Yingling Lager, which where I'm from it's lager because it's
Yeah.
a local. It's the oldest brewing co in America and it's
Yeah.
local to where I'm from.
Yeah.
So that's like the
From your
OG
butcher,
of
butcher
Napa.
James.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like
And
I really like Lead
Jim
Slingers.
Beam. Yep.
Jim Beam's not bad, but
really
Lead Slingers,
hot.
I can drink
This
it, and
hot.
it's like I like drinking it with 4 or 5 ice cubes, depending on the temperature outside, with just a
Temperature.
splash of water, just a splash of water, and that's how I enjoy it. I don't need the soda or any of the chasers to go with a delicious whiskey. So
Sounds savvy.
Unless it's pickle shine.
Pickle shine. Yeah.
or
Bye-bye.
I know it's not whiskey,
Bye-bye.
but truck fuel.
Truck fuel
I
or
don't
truck
drink truck
fuel.
fuel. I just like having it.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Tell 'em about your pickle shine obsession now.
Yeah, so they make pickle moonshine that has pickle juice and pickles in the jar,
Pickle shots all day.
and it is very good for one that likes pickles as much as I do.
I'm telling you what, your freaking homie hooch is da bomb.
Wasn't that
That
awesome?
stuff is awesome.
Mommy.
Verified.
Verified. This stuff is awesome. And then we had some fellowship here 10 days ago,
Something like
maybe
that.
about
man.
10 days ago.
Too long ago.
But we had our tribe coalesced with another tribe, and we just hung out and fellowshiped. Originally, it was supposed to be a work day, and we were like, hey, great idea. We're going to go ahead and get all the work done before y'all get here so that we can just hang out. And we did. We just hung out. There was like, I think there was like 25 of us.
Oh, dude, it was awesome.
And we just
It was
put
a platoon.
Yeah.
There was a platoon of people here.
Yeah. And we
It was
just
great.
We just brought out the lawn chairs, built a fire, and we had brisket and
Grilled chicken, barbecued grilled chicken, and green bean casserole.
green bean casserole and jalapeno beans and homemade matzah and homemade wine,
cornbread, not
cornbread
concoction.
casserole, and what else did we have? Okie made that freaking awesome dessert.
Yeah, like a cheesecake.
Bean
cookie.
brownies.
Yeah, cheesecake cookies.
Yeah,
Or
Okie.
cookie cheesecake, something. It was
it's
amazing.
almost as if Okie Storm Chaser knows how to cook professionally or something.
Something.
Almost, it's almost like
It's
that.
almost like I wish he had a YouTube channel that involved with how to cook the pepper
It's
food.
almost as if you did actually come on deployment with Grindstone, not to hang out with Bear, but because the fathers called you there, you might get to taste some delicious cooking from the Okie Storm Chaser. It's almost like that, but not actually like that.
Whose favorite founding father is Benjamin Franklin because he pretty much invented storm chasing.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, and ham radios, I think.
Yep.
I don't know. But yeah, and then I don't know what else we had, but we had a
How many numbers?
10-foot piece of roofing tin laid out on some sawhorses as a table, and there were liquor bottles spanning one end of the tin to the other. It was a good time. It was a good time. So yeah, we got to fellowship a little and just enjoy each other's company without the pressure of having to perform work. And this is, if you're the type of person that I am, where we've been, a cornerstone of our preparedness is people, right? People, like community, team building, mags, to not have access to those people that you know and love and depend on. It's murder to my soul, man. Like it's just not cool. And so for us to be able to get together like that, hey, you're loud, man. Take it down a notch. You can.
Go from like an 8 to a 4.
Yeah, it rocked. It was awesome. But it's been an interesting facet for us because, you know, a cornerstone of our preparedness methodology is people. And so when you go from a large tribe of people to still a large but somewhat smaller clan of people, these different clans, groups, family groups of people inside of that tribe, it changes the dynamic quite a bit. And the number one thing that I have needed during this pandemic is fellowship. That is what I have been lacking.
How many people prepped for that?
Yeah,
Pandemic, right?
exactly. I mean that has been the biggest challenge.
It didn't turn into the I'm bugging out into the middle of the national forest and you know, living out in the woods. It's been how long? 2.5 months now?
Yep.
So listen, if you say that you're just gonna bug out into the woods and survive, well, it's been 2.5 months since the pandemic started. I'm still waiting to see how the bugging out into the middle of the woods by yourself with nothing is going over.
So,
You know,
some
70 plus
people
days.
have done it. Hello back at you from not France. I mean, some people have bugged out, and honestly, when this thing first started, I think not everybody, but a lot of people were taking this pretty damn seriously. And it's kind of proven itself out at this point that, I mean, 1/3 of all cases in the United States are within 5 boroughs in New York. And it's like, okay,
That's why I
well,
left.
let's shut down rural Oklahoma because 1/3 of all cases are in 5 boroughs in New York. No. And so, luckily in Oklahoma, we have no no dictates, at least where we are. But there comes a point where you just have to kind of do the cost-benefit analysis and decide, okay, you know what, it's time to get back to normal. Well, we're getting back to normal as best we can. But a lot of people, when this thing first started, were like, you know, Amendment 1 preparedness, shield bearer of faith. Those guys are like, I'm out. And I don't blame them, because they have kids, they have wives, they have teams, they have families, and they live in a much more densely populated area, and they left. Awesome. Us, we don't. So.
Not anymore for me.
Not anymore. People are doing again. Yep.
That was difficult leaving. It
Yeah.
really was.
No.
Because there were people that didn't want to come.
I want shipping it
You
up.
know?
No, sit right there.
No.
Sit right there.
Yeah.
Bear, are you going to be a moonshiner when the EMPs pop and we're back in the 1800s? Well, I'll tell you what, Rebel. You'll never know. Because if the EMP pops, we probably won't be live streaming anymore. You might hear us on the ham radio, though. We do need to get a national Bear Nation ham radio frequency, start setting up repeater stations, and maybe we'll just do the live stream on the old 50 cal Amendment 1 preparedness canned ham radio. Bear, can you raffle one of my cows? I have a steer ready to eat or heifer ready to breed available. Please donate half the money made to Grindstone. Mama Bear, please email me. Please email me. A1P, if you're talking about that super chat for the cow, then yes.
ntxmag@gmail.com.
Thank you. Email me and put in the subject line cow raffle, and let's talk about it. Because I don't know where you live, but maybe. So we'll figure it out. Thank you, A1P. You're the bomb.
Waiting on those stencils, man.
Yeah, Mama Bear, you're awesome. Bless you.
We got a little lane done.
Look for a hot and pink in the email. Roger that. Mama Bear, awesome. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you. So yeah, a national network. Let's keep building that thing. Mark Chase. What's Mark Chase doing in here? You would like our Tennessee moonshine. Oh, Mark Chesser. Thank you, Mark. I've had some of your Tennessee White Lightning. Do they need to be crayon compatible? He can't actually draw with crayons, so no.
Listen, man. I get like a quarter of an inch into the line, and it's not even inside the lines, and then I'm just overcome with this urge to eat them. But as long as they're kosher. So, but which Crayola I believe is not.
No.
So, which we found out.
Again, why does there have to be pork fat in everything?
Pork fat, man.
Jeez.
Like,
It's everywhere.
I get like the not wasting, but stop saying something that's not food is food. It's not food, it's not clean. It was never said to be food, so therefore it will never be food. Stop eating
Texas
stuff that's not
Crusade.
food.
Yes,
All
Texas
food's
Crusade.
clean. Well, pig was never food, so how is it clean?
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
That makes no sense.
All animals are good. They are. Horses are great.
Yeah,
they're
for
just
riding.
not food. Dogs rock. You know what? They're not. They're still not food though. So yeah, there's food and then there's not food. Is Yankee a Marine? Of course he's a Marine. Just because he's separated, you can't separate the Marine from a Marine. There's just active Marines and retired Marines. At least that's been my experience.
Once and always, baby.
There you go.
Err.
It's all good, Tabar. I'll tell you what.
I literally have people part of the Yankee machine that are called crayon eaters.
Yeah, exactly. Mark Chase, that's a good point, man. You know, and here's the thing. Y'all do whatever you feel convicted to do. I'm going to do whatever I feel convicted to do. I believe firmly in life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. My convictions are mine. They're not yours. And if y'all want to eat swine, go for it. But I believe firmly that it's an abomination. You know, it'd be a lot like me advocating that y'all should go find some boyfriends. that's an abomination too. And hey, if that's your lifestyle choice, go for it. But I don't condone it. I also don't condone the eating of swine. So you do you. But they are both literally an abomination per the word. And so it's interesting, and it's an interesting study in the mental and spiritual gymnastics and logical gymnastics that people will go to, the hoops that they will jump through to argue that, no, this thing's still in play, but that thing's not, and this doesn't because of this and that. And it's like, yeah, but what does the book say? It says that this is an abomination, and this is an abomination. So if they're both abominations, and I'm the Lord Yahweh Sabaoth, Malachi 3:6, I change not. How come this abomination is no go? But, oh yeah, this one's good. Oh, well, because Peter had a vision. Well, how about we read Peter's vision in context and we realize that that vision had to do with the fact that Peter, while absolutely imbued with the spirit of the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, he had an issue eating with and taking company with people who were not Yehudim, who were not Jews, were not of the tribe of Judah. He would not accept Gentiles. And he has that vision, and then who shows up at his door? Peter, take and eat, for what I have made clean to you is good. Paraphrasing. What shows up at his door? A Gentile. Does Peter then go out and have a ham sandwich? No, the hell he doesn't. He receives the Gentile into his presence. That's the moral of that story. And then people say, well, yeah, Yeshua said in the Gospels, hey, it's not what goes into a man's mouth that defiles him, but what comes out of it. Well, he's saying that to the Pharisees that are losing their minds over the fact that he and his apostles didn't ritually wash their hands before they ate, and he was rebuking them for their nonsensical religion, doctrine, and dogmas of man. And so again, my conviction, not yours, that's okay. My channel, not yours, that's okay. I'm going to do me. And over here we have this abomination that most people would agree that even if you love the sinner, hate the sin, this lifestyle choice is an abomination. But then over here, we have this abomination that we glorify and put on a pedestal of idolatry and go, bacon? Bacon on everything?
T-shirts?
It's ridiculous. To me, it's ridiculous.
I used to be that guy.
So,
I used to be that guy that said, if it doesn't have bacon, I don't want it.
yeah.
And I'm over it. It was like 2 weeks, no bacon. And I'm like, oh, cool, I'm over this.
I've shared the story before. I was the first one in my house to eat clean. And after about 6 months, my wife and I were talking one day, and I, at least according to my wife, made a pretty good pulled pork. And she was like, can you just make a pulled pork? I was like, okay, I'll make a pulled pork. And so I did. And I cooked it. And we all ate it. I even ate some. I was like, you know what? Maybe this thing is just, I don't know where I really am with this. We all ate it. And I made it the exact same product, made the exact same way. And we all ate it. And everybody in my house got violently ill. Violently ill. Coming out of both ends, sick, bleh, just everywhere, for like 24, 36 hours. And I was like, do you need a stronger message than that? I've gone 6 months without eating this. And then the first time I eat it again, not just me, but everybody under my care, everybody under my headship, everybody that I'm responsible for is violently ill. That was the last time that I ate pork. And I will not knowingly eat it again. So, but again, that's me. And we can, and I oftentimes do dive into all the reasons why I'm convicted that way. I have myriad videos on the subject. And in fact, I would encourage y'all, if you're actually interested in this, go check out Google or search in the search bar, Bear Independent Testimony. There's a 3-part testimony there about my story, my convictions, and why I do what I do. It's all explained there, but the long and short of it is I follow Messiah. That's what I do. And Messiah was the living embodiment of the Torah and the prophets. And there's a lot that we can get into there, and I oftentimes do on the daily podcasts, on Men's Group Monday, on the Bible readings Friday evening, Old Testament, on Sunday, the New Testament. I mean, I'm reading the Torah and the prophets and the New Testament, or the Messianic writings, weekly with you all. It's there if you want to see it. You can get a lot more context on what I believe and why. But they're both abominations, man. You've got the knowing, conscientious, engaging in sin over here. Say, for example, in homosexuality. And again, we're all fearfully and wonderfully created in the image of Most High, but this action is an abomination. And then you've got this over here, this animal that all things are good. Yes, they are. It's a good animal, but it's not food. It's explicitly an abomination. And we put this one thing over here as Christians and say, that's disgusting. How dare you? We could never do that. But this thing over here is sacrosanct. It's a way of life. Well, they're both, according to your Bible, abominations. So, there you go. That's what I got to say on it.
I remember you made the comment where it was like, people are like, the Constitution, what does it say? And then you made the same comparison. Your Bible, what does it say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right?
Like the Constitution, you either believe in the Constitution or you don't. In the Word.
Yeah.
You either believe in Yah or you don't.
It drives me crazy. This is something that we were talking about privately. It amazes me how many people say, I'm a constitutional literalist. What does the document say? That's what we need to do. Those are our founding documents. And like, yeah, you're damn right. What does it say? That's what we're supposed to do. And that's the governing of our society. And then you have your eternal soul, the disposition of your eternal soul, and a loving and all-powerful creator who simply spoke your very life into existence and imbued you with a living spark inside of you that resonates at the same frequency of him. He fearfully and wonderfully created you in his image and codified all of his laws, instructions, and teachings and doctrines together for you so that it might go well for you. He gave you a life and taught you how to live it. What does it say? And on the one hand, you have, well, I'm a constitutional literist. And on the other hand, it's like, well, I know the Bible says, but.
How can you even be a constitutional
Are you kidding me?
literalist if you don't know what the Constitution is?
That
Yeah.
too.
Well,
it's like, what does the Constitution say? Shall not be infringed. Okay.
And?
What else?
Well, you know.
Illegal search and seizure. Okay. And?
I'm a sovereign citizen.
There's like 25 other amendments other than the second and the fourth, bro. Like,
and again, taking nothing away from the second and the fourth or the first, and most people aren't quartering troops, so they're not really worried about the third. But again, the point being that on the one hand, you have people that are avowed constitutional literalists, but also want to play all the legalistic, doctrinal, jumping through hoops games that they can to come up with a comfortable disposition on their belief structure, because the Bible might say one thing, right? The Bible might say one thing, but, and I think it's dangerous that we have a lot of teaching and instruction from pastors who say, well, it says this, but it actually means this. Well, no, but what does it say?
The Second Amendment says shall not be infringed, but.
Right. I know it says a law forever throughout your generations, but it doesn't actually mean that.
The law was done away with. Yeah, I guess the Constitution was done away with too. Like, it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And dude, the more I dive into that book, and I probably spent like a solid 3 hours reading it today.
Mm-hmm.
The more I dive into the Founding Fathers and their words and their letters and pamphlets and all that other stuff, I'm like, dude, some of these dudes followed Torah. Like, they were God-fearing
I'm telling you.
men.
Tavar,
For real.
I appreciate that. How can you pray for us? I really appreciate that. You know, this is something I was ruminating on today. I would say meditating, but I wasn't. I was just thinking about it. The number one way that you can pray for me, I'll tell you this, in 2020, I'm taking no new projects. I'm taking no new clients. I'm going to spend as much of my time as I can on Bear Independent, and then about 80% Bear Independent and 20% Grindstone, 80-20 rule, Pareto's principle. And so we're tracking on Bear Independent. Bear Independent, by the hand of the Most High and because of y'all's participation, is doing great. Grindstone needs a lot of funding, but what it really needs is the continued blessing and provision of the Most High. And what it needs is for everybody who's involved in Grindstone to be serving the Father. That's the crux of what Grindstone does. And we've already touched on this twice already, but really this is what's been on my heart today, is that we use Grindstone to serve the Father's kingdom. That's what it's for. And sometimes that kingdom looks like an individual in a tough spot, and sometimes that kingdom looks like a storm has shattered a city and we got to go help, and sometimes that kingdom looks like a $150 billion per year is spent on an industry where people pay to rape underage children. And so to the extent that we can address those issues as a body formed to be Christ-minded and to be the hands and feet of Messiah, that's what Grindstone needs. And again, Grindstone is not me. I am half of 1% of Grindstone. Grindstone is a coalition of major badasses who step out in faith for the Father. And so the way that you could pray for me is to pray for Grindstone, because we are beyond blessed, beyond provided for, and our life is going well. But Grindstone, what Grindstone needs as we continue to grow and as our scope continues to grow, is that we need to make sure that we are in line with the Father's will for our life. And so the wisdom and discernment there, and then the provision and blessing there, is how you could pray for us. And I appreciate that. He also asked about you. So I'm going to let you answer that while I go pee off the back porch.
I have no idea what he asked.
How can he pray for you? I'm going to go pee off the back porch because we live in the country and we can.
Okay, have fun with that.
America. Freedom.
Wow, I've never had anybody ask that question before. And there's 500 of y'all waiting for Bear to get back. Brother, I honestly don't know. I cannot tell you how to pray for me. That's not my job. All I can say is that if you want to pray for me, then talk to Yah and ask him, why do I need to do that, or why should I do it? And let him provide you with that answer, not me. So, but bless you. I appreciate that. Yeah? You got my email, man. And I have yours. I still have yours. Marine versus soldier. Marines always, bro. Favorite song list for the workday.
Song list.
Yeah. Favorite song list for the workday. Listen, man, you give me some like mid to late 70s and early 80s rock and roll, I'm good to go. Just not like the overused like construction playlists that you always hear on the radio at construction sites.
Classic rock.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Blinded by the light.
Up like a douche in my head,
It's
right?
all the time, bro. Like
Daddy,
Yes, sweetie.
this is good,
That is a giant.
So for y'all that are asking about my favorite playlist, I have a Spotify account called Yankee Survival, and I'm working on building playlists, so you can follow me on Spotify and listen to the same tunes that I listen to. I'm working on it. I have one playlist that isn't even halfway done, and there's probably songs that are gonna get pulled out of it, but I'm working on it. Yankee Survival is Spotify. Red needs a wife to beat him into shape. I have a sandbag to do that for me. Thank you very much. I'm working on it. But I would love a wife that loved to get after it and get all nasty and gross with a sandbag like I do. So that'd be fun.
Because then you can shower each other off.
You can just like
with
a
hero
little-
soap.
Yeah.
Like, do you tingle?
Makes your bits tingle.
So tingly.
Which I actually just got a subscription. 4 bars of soap in a month.
Nice.
So he has a discount code. I have a discount code.
Use your
Take a
discount
guess
code.
on what they are.
Use your discount code.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Bear, Yankee, whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So
So this morning, getting back to music, I'm going to jump in there even though they
Go for
asked
it,
you
man.
because, you know,
go for it.
I
I was
live
the only
here.
one here. I was like, what do I do? There's all these
that's
people
all good.
in front
So
of my
good.
face.
You know what to do. You know what to do.
I
It's
don't
easy.
have a YouTube channel. I don't know what you're talking about.
The Ramones, I don't really get down with the Ramones, man. My music choices are ridiculous. This morning, from 6 a.m. to 7:28 a.m., I played drums. I started by playing a track from a band, I think a Ukrainian or Croatian Christ-minded death metal band called Slekvokt.
Christ-minded.
Dude,
death
they're
metal.
awesome. They're awesome. It's something called On the Battlefield or something like that. It was wonderful. So I started playing that. Then I played some Immortal, and then I played Bleak by Opeth, and I played Slaughter of the Soul by At the Gates, and Lack of Comprehension by Death, and 1,000 Eyes by Death, and The Philosopher by Death. Oh, The Philosopher, you know so much about nothing at all. Yeah, awesome. The band Death rocks. Like introspective classic death metal that leans conservative. Oh, thank you. So I played some Death. What did I play after that? Then I played some Harmageddon. Yeah, John Rice, you love it. It's the best ever. Believe me. Everybody tells me it's tremendous. And then I played some Harmageddon. And then what did I play after that? Oh, and then what popped up was some Trampled by Turtles, which is in a freaking...
Dude, that name is
Dude,
awesome.
Trampled by Turtles is an awesome bluegrass
That
band.
is great.
So I played Codeine and Wait So Long by Trampled by Turtles. And then after that,
Bluegrass.
some Gunslinger's Glory by the Dead South came on. So I metal drummed to the Dead South, which I think I might actually shoot some videos on. I might even start a different channel.
They don't have drums.
No, I might even start a different channel and just go with all the clickbaity, metal drummer plays the Dead South and just whatever. Do one of those. But so then I did that for a while. And then I played With Strength I Burn by Emperor, which is one of my all-time favorite songs. And then I finished with The Great I Am, which is a Christian worship song. And then what was the last song that I played? I think it was more Opeth. And then I ended with some more Opeth. And so, yeah. Yeah. How's that for a playlist? A little eclectic much? So, how about some, yeah. Thoughts on end times within the next decade and the inevitable fall of America. I do not believe that the inevitable fall of America is necessarily connected with end times, but I do believe that, and I've been saying this for a while, America 3.0 is very likely to come. I think that America 1.0 was somewhere around the American Revolutionary War, America 2.0 was somewhere around the American Civil War, and America 3.0 is coming to a head if it's not already here. So...
2020 is going to be an interesting year. We'll find out in November.
So all that being said, I do think that Sir John Glubb, The Fall of Empires, which Opeth is awesome. Oh my gosh. Orchid, The album Orchid was the first Opeth album I ever heard. Go do your thing, man.
Gotta do the things, man.
Go do the thing. Go pee off that porch. That's right. The album Orchid is such a good album, dude. And oh my gosh, they don't even write songs; they write movements. They're awesome. And Ackerfeld, his vocals are insane, super good. I don't understand how somebody can have such good dirty vocals and such clean vocals. Can you lay some guitar? You know, I don't play a lot of guitar anymore, and here's why. It's one of the very few facets of me that y'all don't get to see. In fact, during Sukkot this past year, I played the guitar for a very small handful of people, and it was emotional turmoil for me to do so, because when I play guitar, and this is going to sound really sappy, but it's true. When I play guitar, there's a portion of me that is exposed, and it's not a portion of me that I really care to expose to very many people anymore. And so that is one of those things that I keep for me. And so selfishly, I keep it for me, because we share so much with Alpha Charlie Concepts. I need to talk to you, sir. Shoot me an email when you can, please. And good evening. I share so much with the rest of y'all that I have to retain some facets of my individuality that are not on display. So, if that makes sense. Dude, the Who Mongolian Rock are awesome. They are so awesome. They have like the Mongolian equivalent of a didgeridoo or something. Or whatever that thing is. It's awesome.
They're actually pretty.
It's awesome. Those guys are awesome. Yeah. So, Sabaton. Yeah, I'm familiar with Sabaton.
Singing about old war.
Gizzard and the
battles.
Lizard Wizard. Never heard of it. The Adventure Toy Box. What you really mean is you can't play the guitar. Yeah, you caught me, bro.
Verified. JK.
You got me. Good job, the Adventure Toy Box. Listen, man, my self-worth is not derived from your approval, so thanks.
I've heard the guitar. Briefly.
Yeah, Texas, I'm aware. Don't worry about it. That was a different time. What type of scope for AR-15-556? Oh, jeez.
The one that you can use. It's like, listen, man, if you don't have the ability to punch out 500 yards, you don't need a scope. You need a red dot. And you need to learn how to use that and hit out to 200 yards with a red dot before you bump up into a $2,100 optic. So go with what your capabilities are, not what you think they are.
Deliverance, great track. Man, I don't know what type of scope for an AR-15. Depends entirely on what you're doing.
What kind of reticule do you want? Do you want first focal plane? Do you want second focal plane? Do you want a fixed ACOG? Do you want a prism optic? Do you want to be able to adjust your eye relief? Do you want to blah, 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 all this stuff. And
The fact that you're asking that question means that
learn to use your iron sights first.
Means that you probably haven't shot a lot of ARs or a lot of scoped ARs, and so I'd say
There's a lot of new gun owners now, man.
primary arms 1 to 6 or 1 to 8. The Vortex 1 to 6 or 1 to 8. They're all
Budget,
they're all
low-powered variables are awesome.
Yeah.
Especially from, I love the reticule from primary arms.
yeah.
It's like, if you go with any 1x6
Mark
or
Chase,
1x8
exactly.
with an ACSS reticule, that's for the caliber of the rifle that you're using.
Yep.
I mean, dude, you could get a 1x6 for $400, get an American Defense mount for $200 plus or minus. I mean, $600 in optics, you're good for target identification at a distance that you can't shoot at, and for CQB.
So
practice.
Das Pew Professional says it's cool in God's eyes to listen to bands like Watain. Listen, let me answer that. I am in no way qualified to pontificate on what is cool in God's eyes for what brings you either closer or farther away to Him in a worshipful mindset. I actually have a video that posted, a week, 10 days ago, called, I think, Christianity and Heavy Metal, where I talk a bit about my background. And, man, I've played hundreds of shows in metal bands, okay? And they were not polite metal bands, I'll put it that way. Here's the deal. You're either moving closer to the Father or you're not. And He's either convicted you to do something or He hasn't. You're either going to be obedient or you're not. And so I'm going to turn the question back around on you. How do you feel when you listen to bands like Watain? Do you feel like you're moving closer to the Father or moving further away from Him? And you know in your gut, you get it, you know it, you don't need it explained to you, you know. You're just possibly looking either to engender an argument or looking for some approval, but you know the answer. So, go with it. The Father, if He needs to, He will punch you in the side of your head to get your attention. So, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. So, that's my answer. And I'll tell you, anybody who thinks that they're going to answer that question accurately without having the context of you and your convictions and what you believe and why you believe them is probably speaking more to hear their own words than to actually help you. So, J.A. Dudley, I got that link about that Christ edifying rap, though. That was very cool, man. Very cool. So, it's kind of funny to see a Sunday school teacher driving around with a Suburban with a loaded gun on her hip, 8 kids in a Miriam, listening to metal, LOL. It sounds like potentially a good Sunday school teacher, but we won't get into the whole Sunday thing.
Yeshua's disciples carried swords.
JR, roger that. Serious curiosity. No worry, bro. And no worry. I want to be clear. I hope that I don't sound judgy. It's just that you know the answer. And I guarantee you know the answer. And if you don't, you know where to find it. And it's not me. It's Yahweh, your Elohim. I had an elder at a church tell me one time that all music comes from the Father. Maybe, but I'm telling you, I made a lot of music that was not edifying to the Most High. So, are you moving closer or are you moving farther away? So, Brian Trejo. I have no idea who that
I
is.
had a friend tell me once, and there's a lot of research that I need to do into this, but he's like, Yah creates, but Lucifer influences.
I like that.
And you really need to pay attention to what is influencing what you're doing. So, or what you are involving yourself in. Yah does create.
Mm-hmm.
Yah created Lucifer.
Yeah.
But Lucifer influences.
Yeah, and who runs this world right now? You know, there's talk to anybody who's spent some time in the music industry. There's a lot of terrible things out there, man.
Dude, just Hollywood in general.
Yeah.
Anything actor, actress, rock star, pop artist, whatever. It's just
Puppy dogs in a box. Somebody asked how I hold a rifle, and I want to be clear on this. The way I hold a rifle is that I chicken wing all the way out here, and then I don't just C-clamp. I go all the way over the top of the rifle and hold like this underneath. This is how I shoot a rifle, and I find this to be the best way to have the least amount of control. And because I'm just some random a-hole on the internet, That's the way that I shoot, is with the least amount of control. So chicken wing as high as you can get it and as far out, because everybody wants to get shot in the elbow. And then rather than holding underneath or C-clamping over the top, just go another 180 degrees all the way around like this. And that's how I prefer to hold the rifle.
I literally have a tier on Patreon that is specific to answering those questions. So for the cost of a year, you will get more information that is more personalized to your questions about those specific topics on Patreon than what you would get in a day with actual instruction on a live fire range. So you will get you will get the information that you could use to better train yourself. But that is time, experience, and money spent.
it's bedtime,
that
sweetie.
some information is free, which some information should be, and other information costs money.
Don't apologize for bringing
business.
value, bro.
So-
Don't apologize for bringing value.
I'm just explaining what my business perspective
What is this?
on Patreon.
So here's how I hold a rifle.
It's an airsoft rifle.
This is an airsoft rifle, okay? So this particular airsoft rifle, again, chicken wing all the way out here, okay? So as high up as you can get the elbow, and then reach all the way around underneath like this. Never mind that you can't actually acquire a sight picture, because we're gonna shoot it pretty much sideways like this anyway, okay? And so this is why I only run tracer rounds. So this way we can walk it on the target, okay? And it's also important that you have a trigger set to about a half a pound, because you're just gonna just like this, and then all the brass is gonna fly up into your eyeball because of the way that the rifle is canted, effectively taking you out of the fight, so now that your buddies can actually affect rounds on target. The way that I hold a rifle, not that it matters how I hold a rifle, but the way that I hold a rifle is I actually like this tucked in. This is gonna go here, and that's collapsed. This is gonna go here, right? And so this is locked in. I'm pulling back with this, it's in the pocket, and then this hand goes here over the top like that, and that's how I run this rifle. Okay, this particular rifle, that's how I do it.
Vertical grips are just extended grip stops. Changed my mind.
Yeah, I like the vertical grip, but I like it because of that. And when your hands are this big, maybe I need a grip stop that's bigger than that.
There's only one thing that people grab like this, and it ain't a vertical grip.
Abomination.
I just went there.
Abomination, bro.
Dude, my friends love me and they hate me, and it's a great relationship.
What are
It's
friends?
Totally not toxic.
I've heard of these things. I watched the YouTube video on Friends once. All I got was some blonde chick and some Jewish nerd guy in an apartment, and I don't know, it was weird. Yeah. Hashtag bear paws, bear paws, the best words. Oh my gosh.
For those of you that are asking, I'm literally just drinking pickle juice with a pickle.
That's cool.
Why not? Finish off the night with some vinegar.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, I do need to do an update on the belt video. I probably will. The range is coming great. Videos coming on YouTube, or not YouTube, on Patreon about that. So I'll tell you what, man, we're pushing 2.5 hours. Yeah, it's time. I know you guys open carry for a homestead and ease of legality. Is that something that's pretty common in your parts? Not much of it around mine.
I concealed carried for 5 years in northeastern Pennsylvania, bro. I got you.
I open carry almost all the time. If I go out into public and for whatever reason I feel the need, I'll flip my shirt from in between me and the gun to over the top of the gun. But yeah. His knives are knife hands. Those are the only knives he has. So.
And K-bars.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Hawaiian shirts. Look like the tourist that doesn't know where he thinks he is.
How do I get your luscious beard? For a $10,000 donation to Grindstone, I'll shave it and mail it to you in a box. How's that an answer?
In a Ziploc bag. Vacuum sealed.
I am not that proud.
Dude, your wife doesn't even know what you look like without the beard.
My wife has never seen my chin, and we will keep it that way.
Yeah.
We will keep it that way.
I want to up that to like 100,000. Just saying. Just saying.
It'll be back tomorrow. Like, it's not like,
Just wear a mask. Or you're going out
come at
public.
me, Badger, come at me. No, William, I didn't say let's raise the money. This is not some kind of twisted mutual fund to get Bear to shave.
Dude, I couldn't.
I'm
even
talking
imagine
about
if you woke
one
up this morning and
$10,000
If
donation.
you woke up tomorrow morning and was like, I have to actually shave the beard. Oh my gosh. Oh, that would be. I'd probably just turn around and walk into the other room with my coffee mug.
Right?
Yeah, and just be like, okay.
Yeah, Badger, I feel your pain. Me either, man. Oh my goodness. Yeah, just Google shaved bear.
Dude, that is horrifying. A bear with mange. Have you
Full
ever
body
seen one?
shave for 100K. Jay Johns, stay your lips, bro. Man,
Shalom,
shutting it
brother.
down. I'll just put it this way. You might recant those words when you see the upcoming Hero Soap video and review. So, anyway. Cool. We're going to go to bed. Shalom, guys. Y'all are awesome. Thanks for hanging out with us. Really. Thank you. Enjoyed it. Have a good evening. Shalom. There's a button over here.